Hello, comics and pop culture people. Happy Thanksgiving. It's your friend Brian, aka Bigby McFly, and I just wanted to, hang out with you guys for a little bit, see how everybody's doing. And I wanted to, this morning I was sitting down, I wanted to make a list of things that I'm thankful for, and so I was writing things out, and I was like, I really need to share this with other people. And my beard is being weird today. There we go. Looks a little better. I guess I will start off talking about that. I've invited a few other people to join us. Uh, we'll go over that list. One of the first things that I want to say that I'm thankful for is my mom. My mom just recently reached out to me the other day. Obviously, at the worst, mom's the worst possible time. She gives me a phone call and says, hey, I started watching you on YouTube, and my mom is elderly and not as mobile as I'd like her to be. And she said it was a great way for her to feel like she was spending time with me. So I feel like I'm going to tear up here. So it was very cool to hear that from her. And I just want to say, hey, happy Thanksgiving, Mom. I'm not able to hang out with you today, but uh, happy Thanksgiving. So, geez, first person I say thanks to, I start getting teary. Um, so I just want to recognize the chat here. Tina, oh, hey, Tina, thank you for joining. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for being here. Brandon, My Comics, thank you for being here as well. And looks like I have a guest that wants to join. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome them in, and then I'll continue going over my list of things that I'm thankful for. So,
Hey, hey, how's it going?
it's Alan, the comic collector geek, one of my good
Hey,
friends, and he is here and hanging out with me today. So it's
yeah,
not
happy
Thanksgiving up
Thanksgiving.
there in the Great White North. So
Yeah, yeah. It's not Thanksgiving here, but you guys are enjoying Thanksgiving there. So
yeah. So
when
I want to
when
recognize the chat.
officially is Thanksgiving, by the way? I don't get it.
Uh, Saying hey to Dan's X Men, Doug Botkin, Jusa, and just saying hey to everybody. Jusa was the one who I believe won the giveaway way over there from Europe. Is it Finland?
Oh,
I,
Finland. Wow.
yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, Yusa. And if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I just wanted to hang out with people today. And Finland, it is Finland. Great. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us today. That's awesome.
Well,
So yeah, I this morning I tried to, like, on Thanksgiving, write down a list of things that I'm thankful for, and I figured I really wanted to share that with other people, and so thanks for being here, man.
oh,
I'm thankful that you could make it.
yeah, yeah. So I always try to meet, go whenever you're doing these things. I always try to come to them. By the way, when officially is Thanksgiving? Is it Sunday?
It's Thursday. It's always Thursday.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the third Thursday in November every year.
So today is officially Thanksgiving because all week
Yes,
people have been saying Happy Thanksgiving. I'm like, okay, when is Thanksgiving?
it's on Thursday. It's engineered that way so that we get an extra day
Excellent.
off, or extra 2 days off, like a 4 day
Yeah, it's like
weekend,
a super
basically.
long weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to continue going down my list of things that I'm
Yeah,
thankful
yeah, yeah. You
for,
do your
and
thankful things, and yeah, I'll
and
just be a.
so the first thing was I was talking about my mom, and that she's been able to feel like she's hanging out with me by watching some of my YouTube videos, which is really cool. And second person that I want to say thanks to is my wife Renee. She's amazing and awesome, and like she makes things beautiful. She When we had our shops, she was I don't give her enough credit. So you guys, when I talk about the shops, she deserves so much credit. She made things look awesome and always made everything look so professional. So and then thankful for my children, Orion, Eric, Megan, and Brian and Jacob, and then
You have
also
four
for my
kids.
Yeah, well,
I didn't
two are
realize you had
mine.
that
Well,
many.
five kids.
5 kids. Wow.
Two are mine, and three are also mine. But and then also my son-in-law Josh, who is married to Megan, awesome fella, and my future daughter-in-law Bianca, who is engaged to Eric. So just thankful
Wow.
for all of those guys, as well as a very close family friend, Jarl. Jarl and Josh, I want to say a special thanks to. I'm glad that you guys are father figures in addition to myself for Orion, my son, and just thankful for you guys. So, also thankful for my friends, so that are not just YouTube people, but Marcus, I'm talking to you. You know, one of the greatest guys that I've ever gotten to know, and my coworkers. So I'm going to shout those guys out: Ethel, Dennis, Mitch, Mike, Jeff, and Martin. Manly men who put up with a big dorky nerd who pretends to be a manly man in the construction field with you. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you guys every day.
Very cool.
So, in addition to that, Trav from Comics Limited, he falls into the friends and YouTubers thing. But Travis, I've been friends with him since junior high school. We were on his stream the other night, and I was like, I got all teary. I said, he's one of the greatest guys that I've gotten to know. Like I said, we've known each other for practically our whole lives. I mean, 40 plus years. And he was
Wow.
talking about me driving him to school in my Pinto station wagon.
Nice.
We had big stereo speakers in the back that were for like a house, and you would kick him out the back, and we'd sit him on the ground when we got somewhere, and we'd listen to music outside. But Travis is one of the coolest guys. So, and then there's a whole list of people in the description that are friends of mine. Psychotronic Squirt Gun, Aaron, welcome to the chat, and happy Thanksgiving. Thankful for him as well. Great guy, always making awesome comments on my artwork. So appreciate you, buddy. But so next down on the list, right under Travis, is Alan, the comic collector geek. Alan, I'm super thankful for you. You've been a great resource for me learning about YouTube, and just always there when I need somebody to hang out with or to talk to. So just really appreciate you, buddy. So
Oh, you're welcome.
just want to say that I'm thankful for you. Mike from
I
Lunch
thanked
Money
you
Comics.
in October because I'm Canadian.
Oh, yes. So Mike from Lunch Money Comics, awesome guy. Appreciate him. He was my first comic book shout out guy, and love talking with him on the phone or chatting over the internet, as well as hanging out with him online. And he's just a very cool dude.
Mhm.
Next down, we got Brandon from Mon Comics. Brandon, I love you, brother. You're an amazing guy. I don't know if you guys saw the stuff that Brandon gave me the other day as just a shits and giggles thank you thing, but he gave me a really cool comic. And then in the package was a holographic Wolverine card from the Marvel Series 1. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. Well, that wasn't the end of it. There was a gem mint 10 graded Wolverine card. There's only 3 of them in the world, and he found it in his heart to send it to me. I was just
That's
blown
so
away.
crazy.
So yeah, it was just a crazy gift, Brandon. Just you're off the chains, buddy. You're
Wow.
great. Love you, man. So also Mr. Akins, what's on the comic rack, another guy who's always available for me to bounce things off of and talk, and we, talk about life and comics and everything else in between. Mr. Akins is awesome. I've been so blessed this year just getting to know people on YouTube and being able to hang out with them. And I can't say enough how thankful I am for all the people that I've gotten to know. Ryan, the Colossus Collector, awesome guy. I don't know if you guys have seen some of his videos lately where he's got his wallet, and his wallet is talking smack about him buying so many comics. Um, but it's great. He did a promo video for his Christmas one, which is like Christmas Vacation, where he's like Cousin Eddie pumping the sewage and stuff. It's hilarious, and it's so
Mm,
well done, very professional. And he did an amazing Thanksgiving video just the other day as well. So
nice.
check him out. But and then Rohan and JP over at Absolute Game of Nerds.
Mhm.
Dan from Dan's X-Men Comics. I've got to hang out with him a couple times, go to a convention with him, and then have him up here and hang out and go to dinner and do some comic trading. So Dan, appreciate you, brother. You're awesome as well. And
Very cool.
Ryan at Collecting Casually, getting to know him a little bit better in our one of our chat groups that we hang out in, and then Sophie from Jackpot Comics Stock. It was really great to hang out with her on the finale for the hashtag comic book shout out. So I was excited to add another person to our group of people. And our long lost son, Obito. Obito, thankful that I've gotten the chance to know you, and I hope everything's going awesome in your world. And we will welcome you with arms wide open when you come back with your content. I know you're busy with life right now, but love you, brother. And then another guy that I've just had a great chance to get to know, Chris, Bronze Age nerd, awesome dude. Helping him raise some money for Mission 22, doing some artwork. So encouraging. Like he and I were on the phone last night talking for like 4 hours. It was like every every half hour, like, okay, I really need to go. I really need to go. But we just kept talking. So yeah. So and then John from John's Comics with Kids. I've known him since way before I ever started doing YouTube, and super
Wow.
cool guy, and nicest guy in the world. Dave from West Coast, Dave Enders, got to go up and hang out with him up in Tacoma and go hunting comics with him and hang out and have lunch, and uh, just another great guy, great member of the community. If you guys haven't had a chance, he does claim sales. He's amazing. Colossus Collector buys a lot of stuff from him. His wallet would be talking shit about Dave as well. So, and then Karen's Pages, got to know her a little bit with doing her original art stuff. She's amazing. And Sean with Pop Comics and Pop Walks. I don't know if you guys have
Oh,
seen
he's
his
a really
stuff,
nice guy.
but
Yeah.
he is a super nice guy. So nice. He's actually reached out to me, says he wants to start doing some content with me on YouTube and Twitch. So we might be doing some team up stuff. That'd be kind of
Oh,
fun.
cool. Been trying to get
But
him on my channel for the longest time.
yeah, he says he can't
He's
get
a
StreamYard to work is his problem.
Yeah,
So
that's the
maybe I
issue.
can help him work that out. But then going back to like John's Comics with Kids, like Bueller, Comics with Bueller, another
Hmm.
friend of mine from way before I ever thought about being a YouTuber. And then Bullseye Bob, who's a friend of his,
Hmm.
a great person. And then Sleepy Reader, another one of their friends that's a cool guy, always very encouraging about my artwork, and he collects a lot of original art from the great comics masters, and he says whenever he says something about my art, I'm just humbled beyond belief, because it's like, you think that's good, you're an expert.
Hmm.
So and then 22 Comics, I wanted to say thanks. I'm thankful to get to know you and have you be a part of our group on the shout out, so that's been awesome. Art wise, Geek Out with Roscoe, such a nice guy. Super happy to get to know him as well. And TM Nerdy and their show Between the Lines, amazing show where people get to hang out and do art together and chat and show each other what they've done, and so fun every Monday night. I try to make it if I can. Great group of guys. And then Bleeker, who just was in the chat, Bleeker Street Comics. He says, "Happy Thanksgiving to my American friends stuck at work, sadly."
Hmm.
Bleeker, I appreciate you immensely, and your love of art, and your just beginning down that path again of doing artwork.
Hmm.
It's cool to see what you're doing, and I appreciate all of your kind words and positive feedback. As in addition to Katie, K-pop junkie, um, always super kind, such a creative person, beautiful artwork. Uh, the sewing, and she can do anything. I mean, she can make it.
Very
She's the person to
artistic.
make your animatronics. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. She's good.
But yeah. So and then Brian LCS for the CBCA, the awards that are coming up. I appreciate him and
I
all the
think
work
that's
that he
over,
puts
isn't
in.
it? Like in terms of
It is
the.
over. We're going to be seeing the announcements here soon, but I don't care who won. I was happy to be nominated, and I'm happy to be just a part of the community. So it's it's
Mhm.
it's very cool. And then I just a whole there's so many people. Manny, Biggie Shack, CJ from Comics Journey, Reverend Wormwood, Paper Chase Comics, Steven Steppo, who
Nice.
says, Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh,
There's
hey.
the devil.
Happy Thanksgiving, Stephen.
And Lyle, always commenting and saying kind things on my artwork on
Oh yeah,
Instagram.
Lyle's a really great guy too.
Yeah. Tina, my moderator, who was just in here a little bit ago. Tina, I appreciate you so much. And like a lot of times when I'm doing a late night art stream, she's the only one in there with me doing it live, and she'll be just talking to me and saying encouraging things about the artwork and keeping me company. So Tina, you're awesome. And anybody who pops in the chat, she welcomes them and chats them up while I'm drawing. So keeping
Hmm.
everybody entertained. So yeah, so that's just kind of it. And then the other thing I want to say that I'm thankful for, and I'm going to try to say this without crying, I'm thankful for my time here on Earth. My friend Larry, who was one of my best friends in my whole life, died when he was in his early 30s. And I'm just thankful for the time that I have here to spend with you guys. And I miss you, Larry, a lot. Sorry. And
Well,
just that the life that I have, and that there's many less fortunate out there who can't um, do the things that I can do. They don't have the opportunities that I have, and so I'm just thankful for what I have. So there you go. Sorry.
no, no, sweet, very sweet, very sweet, awesome.
So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys the things that I'm thankful for, and all you guys that are in the chat that are talking. Happy Thanksgiving, and I appreciate all of you for coming and hanging out, and every one of you that watches a video or says something. Say more things. That makes my day when I hear comments from you guys. It just you can't imagine how much brightness and excitement that brings to my life when I see something somebody said, a comment about my art or something that I did in a video. So love hearing from you guys. So
Mm.
um, but yeah. Anyway, I appreciate everybody. Tina, thank you so much for your comment there.
Hmm.
Dan, love you, brother. So, um, yeah. So, you got anything you want to say you're thankful for, or did I?
Oh, um, I don't know. I'm just happy to be like, not in jail at this point. It's
Yeah.
just like I always feel like I'm gonna get overwhelmed with all the stuff that I'm buying and overwhelmed with all these crazy bills in life. And I'm just thankful that, I'm still debt free. And you know, I'm helpful. I'm really glad that I joined this whole comic community. Like,
Mhm.
I joined doing these YouTube videos just because I had nobody around me to talk comics with. And it was a big part of my life. I really love comics.
Right.
And I started making YouTube videos. I didn't even think anyone would watch them. I really didn't. Like, and I've met so many great people that I consider actually my best friends now, like
Right.
yourself
That's what I'm saying. Like all these
and
people I'm talking about.
Steven, and like there's so many people like that I've met and I consider actually to be some of my closest friends. And I talk to Steven every day. I talk to you almost every day. I consider you guys to be my best friends right now. So, it's kind of weird. Like especially when you get older, it's actually harder and harder to make friends.
Yeah.
And
Not so with this community. Everybody's so accepting. Like when I started
yeah,
making videos, I was so worried that people were gonna be very critical and hurt my feelings and everything. Everybody's been so kind and so
yeah,
nice and
that was
welcoming, and
actually
that I pop
that
in
was
on
my
anybody's stream that's doing a stream, even if they've never heard of me. They're just like so just just I don't know, welcoming
everyone's really
and
really nice.
accepting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Um,
awesome.
I was sort of worried that when I first started doing videos, like people were going to be like, "Oh no, that character made their first blah blah," blah. Like some really
Right.
small little point, like some really nerdy thing. And instead, I feel like I'm totally being embraced. And there's the like I feel like the comic community is one of the few places in the world that actually gets me. The rest of the world maybe doesn't understand me, maybe thinks I'm crazy. But
Oh, we
I
think
feel
you're
like,
crazy. That's okay.
oh, okay, well, okay, well, so at least it's consistent, so that's good. So
No,
yeah.
I appreciate you incredibly, sir. It's you were one of the first people to be just like open the doors and be accepting to me,
Mhm. Well,
and
yeah,
yeah,
I liked how
continue to do so.
we met. I actually, I think that was cool how you reached out to me because I basically put a call out to artists, and you said,
Yeah, I
hey,
was like, hey, I do art. If you want to, want me
and
to do
we're
some
gonna do that
character sketches
comic
or
together. We're
something.
gonna,
Yeah.
I, I, you know, at the rate that I'm writing it, it should be like we'll be in our 90s, but but we'll get it done. We'll get it done.
Right.
I really like
Right.
to do that. And I think, the way I see your artwork progressing, by the way, it's like leaps and bounds. It just keeps on really improving. I really like that magic card thing that you did just recently.
Oh,
I
no,
thought that
thank you.
was really quite brilliant. It's not just like the way you draw, like it's like I feel like there's a lot of artists that draw like, oh, it looks nice, but I don't feel like many artists actually capture some story or some kind of action like very well. And your stuff gets the action really, really well.
Yeah, I always
You know
try
what I
to do
mean?
movement and
Yeah.
action in my
Like
artwork.
sort of similar to that one where you did Werewolf by Night jumping down onto Dracula.
Oh, right, right.
Not only was it the action of those two guys, but you had the action of the street behind. Even the street itself seemed to have like some kind of motion to it, and
Hmm.
I thought that was kind of really cool. So I've been finding that your art has been really improving. I think it's really
Appreciate that.
awesome. Yeah. So
Losa's
I'm
comic
kind of looking
journey.
forward to doing this comic with you. So
Losa's
I think we
comic
could.
journey says to you, Alan, I don't think you realize how much it helps people to have someone in their lives that has similar interests. Not everyone has someone that understands the crazy comic hobby and someone to talk to. So
Oh, that's very cool. Very cool.
yeah.
So yeah. So a lot of
Yeah,
the
just
time.
having a lot of times I think just having someone to listen to that shares a similar interest and realize that there are other people out there in the world who have those kind of
Mhm.
passions and that enjoy the same things. And so yeah, I'm just thankful for everybody. It's just yeah, it's incredible. So
Mm. So yeah, I mean, I found the one thing I think is really funny. I always check my analytics and stuff like that. I feel like what I've been doing is, do you ever see the movie Boys from Brazil? It's
um maybe a long
it's
time
actually
ago.
it's kind of a weird story, but it'll make sense. The idea is they clone Hitler, and like all these boys are out there in the world that are going to grow up as like Hitler, basically. Okay.
Oh geez. Okay. Yeah, I don't think
It's
I've
kind
ever
of a
seen that movie.
messed up story,
Yeah.
but I always feel like with my YouTube channel, like I feel like I'm getting all my clones. I'm finding people they must have cloned me as a kid because all the people I'm meeting are sort of so that's why I
Right.
made. I'm not that I'm Hitler, by the way, but but,
That
but
was not implied.
that was not the intent of this, but I feel like I've been meeting all my clones, like people with very similar like love of comics, similar like
Uh-huh.
like even like the genres of comics, similar ages, similar perspectives. It's really interesting that I feel like I consider you to be in that group. You're one of my Hitler clones.
Ah,
So
uh,
yeah, but it is one of those things. I know it's I feel like I'm so happy with all the people I've met. I just feel like
thank
I really
you.
yeah, it's like the weirdest compliment ever, isn't it? Like yeah,
Yes. Hey,
this
want
is
to bring
why
lunch?
this is why I don't say thank you very often because people get really offended. People be like,
Uh,
"Oh man, that guy's such a jerk. I'm gonna unsubscribe to his channel." Um, so yeah.
no, no. Gosh, I'm still teary-eyed from earlier. But
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. It's just like I said. So thankful for like just the things in life that I have and the opportunities that I have, and
Hmm.
just getting to know all of you guys. It's just been so incredible. I mean,
Hmm.
I can't. I'm sure like I keep thinking of like, oh, there's somebody else I need to add to the list, and I'm like, oh,
I know it's
if
crazy,
I
isn't
didn't
it?
say your name, I apologize. You are important to me, and I appreciate you immensely.
Like I
So
was impressed by how many names, like pretty much everybody on your list I know, right? And
yeah,
uh like I feel like if somebody asked me to do that, I'd be terrible. I'd be like, I can remember one name right now, my own list.
I made
Um,
a list. I made a list
I'm
first.
yeah, having that list and checking it twice is always useful. Um, yeah,
Right.
I mean, there's so many people. Have you gotten to know Biggie, Biggie Shack?
Yeah, I mentioned his name down at the. I said
Okay,
Manny and Biggie and CJ. I got to meet Biggie a little bit on a few different streams, but he seems like the nicest guy in the world, and
yeah, he's
yeah, I
really nice.
like hanging
Yeah,
out with
yeah,
him a lot.
yeah, he's a good guy. What else? There's
He's
so many.
invited me on his show. I just the way my things are set up right now, all of my comics are in a comic room in another area of the house, and then so I just have a few books up here when I'm going to make a video or whatever. I bring a few books up here, and
Mhm.
so it'd be really hard for me to participate in the challenges that you guys do. So
Yeah.
unless we're allowed to like prep ahead of time or something, but
Yeah. So actually that's how I have been meeting a lot of people that have been taking part in my weekly challenge, right? You know, like where
right. No, that's I originally that was one of the I was like, I don't know what to do for content, and I was like, oh well, yeah, this guy has this weekly
it
challenge.
gives
I'm gonna make
people
sure I
easy
hit
way to make content.
the
Yeah.
Friday challenge every week, and then
Hmm.
I kind of like started doing my own thing with the comic book shout outs, and life got in the way, and I haven't made a Friday challenge, but I remember doing some of those were really fun. The
Yeah.
jungle challenge was I think the first one I did was jungle challenge, and I had
Oh,
so
that's
much I
cool.
went way overboard on the thumbnail on that one, uh,
Oh wow.
and my wife was giving me so much crap about the half naked woman on the thumbnail. But
That's pretty
hey
much all the
man,
comics, yeah.
good to see you,
Um
buddy. I shouted you out earlier as one of the people that I'm thankful for. Appreciate you, brother. So
mm. So I was actually thinking this week I'm going to do Thanksgiving since it is Thanksgiving, but I can't think of that many turkey covers.
there's a lot of things. I would say like maybe like a holiday meal covers or something. There's a lot of
Holiday meal
those.
okay, holiday meal
Yeah.
covers.
Yeah, where they're all like sitting around the table having like a holiday meal, like either turkey or ham or whatever. Or,
Okay. Oh, okay.
there's probably I could think of at least maybe seven or eight of them, or maybe just
Okay.
yeah.
But do I have those?
I don't know. A lot of them are DC that I can think of.
I like the DC, so I don't
You
know.
got the one with Wonder Woman serving turkey to the entire Justice League. There's another one with Power Girl serving a turkey to the entire Justice League.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
don't think I have those.
there's a world's finest that I use for the thumbnail for this. That is, it's kind of a what if
But that was
Kent
that. I
and
thought
Bruce
you
Wayne were
modified it
adopted. What? Yeah, I modified it, and I took the
with.
turkey actually out of Wonder Woman's hands from another one and put that on the table.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool.
So yeah,
Yeah. So
but yeah, so I think maybe a holiday meal theme one or something like that, or
I'm going to do something turkey related, but
turkey.
yeah,
We could have actual live turkeys on the cover too.
yeah. I have like about 4 turkey covers that I can think of.
There you go. There you go.
And so, but that's
I'm
it.
impressed
So,
by how many people are hanging out. I didn't know how many people would have time in the middle of the day on Thanksgiving, but I know a lot of people. You're like we're not doing our meal until late in the afternoon. So I did my part. I made a pie. I shredded some cheese. That's my part of the whole deal. And then I'm like, all right, I'm free to do what I want to do until mealtime.
mm,
So
my part used to be the one that opens the can of cranberry. You know, the
ah,
cranberry. You bring it
dump
out and it's
that
like a big.
that
Yeah, yeah.
gelatinous
I'm
blob of
done.
cranberry. I like cranberry sauce actually. It's like a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's pretty
I
good actually. So
actually I like it too. Strangely,
have you ever
but
had when they make they use cranberry instead of like jelly on a peanut butter sandwich?
oh,
It's
really?
pretty good
That's
actually. Yeah,
interesting. I've never
yeah.
seen that,
I
but
mean, basically jelly, right? So
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
little tart jelly, but pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, makes sense. I just never thought about it. I always think of
But it's
things like cranberry sauce as being one of those things you only eat once a year kind of thing.
I saw the other day there was this guy on Instagram and he's kind of like, what do we have here? And he's like, these people are peeling chicken skin off of chickens and they make this layer of chicken skin like of like crisp, and then they take and they put mashed potatoes down and then they put stuffing down and then they put
Mhm.
cranberry sauce and everything and they make a Thanksgiving sushi
Oh
and they're
wow.
dipping it with the the chopsticks into gravy.
Oh my goodness, that's really funny.
Yeah, it looked delicious actually. Hey Kenneth, good to see you.
Wow, that's really
And,
cool.
where'd you get that? Good to see you as well. Sorry I didn't say anything to you earlier, but I appreciate you being here. So yeah, so thanks for everybody who came in and watched me cry.
See, I'm here to balance you out. Like,
Right? Yeah.
see,
No,
I'm the
I had a friend who was he collected comics and we did a lot of shows together and everything. And he was hit with cancer when he was really young and he passed away. So he was my best friend through high school and
mm,
everything. Both really good friends with both Travis and I. And so that hit us pretty hard. So miss him.
mm.
I still have his phone number in my phone.
Oh wow.
And yeah, think about him every week, at least once or twice a week. Think about Larry. So
Mm.
but yeah, I'm sure Travis say something in the comments later. Something nice about Larry.
Why didn't Travis join in? He could have jumped on.
I think Travis is actually working. He's keeping the internet up and working for all of us today.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and in between that, he's cooking for the family. So he's cooking and working because he works from home. So he's like, I'm gonna be running back and forth to the kitchen, to the oven, to back to the computer, back to the kitchen, to the oven.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I
so
work from home too, so I can relate.
yeah. So yeah, I wasn't sure who I know several of the people that we hang with are from Canada, so I didn't know if Colossus Collector Ryan was going to be able to make it, or Bleeker. But
Bleaker, yeah.
put the invite out there. Just I invited Steppo. He said, "Hey, unfortunately, hanging with the family," which he was able to hop in and say hi on the chat, which is great.
Hmm.
But he's like, I said that wasn't it wasn't a like it forced you to come. It was I wanted to make sure to invite you. So
Yeah, yeah.
that was all. Yeah. So
Yeah, I always like to hang out with you if I can. So,
yeah. So you picked up some cool stuff lately?
um, I'm actually, I'm going to get, my stackery is going to come next week. I just,
Oh,
pressed the button to make it go out yesterday.
gotcha.
So, but it's like, it's going to be my biggest ever in terms of the number of things.
The
So,
biggest ever, biggest ever,
well, so there
the
was
biggest,
like,
biggest.
like normally it's about 60 orders that I have in a thing, right? That I send out. But what happened was there was like 3 or 4 of those orders that are in this Stackery unboxing that were collections that were bought. So like
Oh, really?
so I on Heritage they had a really cool one. I don't know if it's going to be just total garbage or totally awesome. It's going to be one of the two. It's like it was 100 plus magazines, okay? But it's sort of men's magazines from the 20s
Oh,
until
wow.
the like the 50s. So I was like, that there's like so many cool magazines in there that could be like really awesome, or it could be just like a whole bunch of like like totally terrible, like like not really appropriate for kids kind of stuff. So I don't know what it's going to be, but it's a massive collection of 100 plus magazines. They just said 100 plus. They didn't even bother counting it. But I looked up like the ones that they showed in the, like how they always show a thumbnail. Like the ones that they showed were like $60 each.
Really?
Like so if
So you got
it's kind of
you got a smoking deal on it, huh?
either, like I paid about 400. So
Uh-huh.
but I figure if they're worth even $20 each, it's like it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
And they said that the average grade is VG plus, so it should be okay. So,
gotcha. So I
but
asked some important questions to the chat. Turkey and ham.
turkey or ham? I always go turkey.
Maybe a roast.
Do you do turkey
Eustace
or
says,
ham?
Eustace says, turkey, pork ain't my jam. Where'd you get
Yeah.
that? Says ham. There
But
you go.
the only thing is like my family is kind of weird. Like my mother is American,
Uh-huh.
so she's like a foreigner. Um and so, that's a joke, weird joke. Okay, so so
Oh,
but
she's a foreigner because you're in Canada. I get it.
yes, yes, yes. So we would celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving and then American Thanksgiving and then Christmas. Like so it's like each month, like 3 months in a
You got an
row.
extra holiday in there.
Yeah, so the point is like if you do turkey like 3 times in a row, it kind of gets
Yeah.
a bit much. Turkey is one of those things you kind of overdose whenever you do
That's
it
why
because
you
there's
do
a.
like you do turkey for one and ham for the other,
That's
or
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying. That's
yeah,
what sometimes we would do to just kind of like break it up a bit because we'd kind of overdose on turkey because usually you have like a week after Thanksgiving where you're having like turkey sandwiches, turkey soup, turkey like slices,
yeah.
turkey
Everything,
like turkey
everything's
everything,
turkey, right?
turkey drinks.
Turkey
I
is one
don't
of those
know.
things that like a lot of meats I'm not a fan of when they're cold, but turkey is
Mhm.
actually okay when it's cold.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
it's weird. I actually really like turkey. I actually prefer turkey over chicken, to tell you the truth. But
So, are there any traditional Canadian meal items for the meal that are different from the U.S.? And USA, are there any traditional items for
in Finland,
your Thanksgiving in Finland? Do you have Thanksgiving in Finland?
I don't know if they celebrate it.
Yeah, I was just
I,
curious. I mean, you just kind of assume the rest of the world it's Thanksgiving, right? But
no,
maybe
no,
not.
like
Yeah, so
in England they don't
curious,
celebrate it, and
right?
in Europe I don't think they celebrate it. I
Do,
think it's
do they
just
not?
sort of a
Do they not celebrate it I mean, what's wrong with celebrating giving thanks for just the things that
yeah,
you're thankful for? I mean, the origins of it, right? But
yeah. Like I mean, for no, even the origins are actually not bad. Like there was 50
yeah,
years of peace after they had the breaking of the bread kind of thing.
yeah.
Um,
Yusuf says no, they don't have it. So okay,
Yeah, so in Canada, Thanksgiving is all about the fact that, you know, the first settlers were like starving to death and they were just thankful for the harvest, right?
right,
That's the
right.
origins in Canada. Um, and so it's sort of like a harvest celebration rather than not necessarily, like, it's religious too, but it's mostly
Yeah.
celebration of the harvest. Our harvest is a bit earlier than American because it's a little colder up here, right? So usually
Right.
October is
Are there
the
different?
harvest.
There are different traditional items for the meal though, or
I think it's just we just have turkey stuffing, cranberries. What else would be uh like the traditional Canadian one is Canadian goose. They would have
oh,
goose as a
goose? I've never. How is goose? I've never had goose.
it's a bit more oily, I guess would be the way
Like
to say it.
gamey, kind of
I wouldn't say gamey, but more
oily. Okay,
oily, kind of like duck that
okay,
way.
okay.
Um, but yeah, so that would be more of a traditional thing. But then the Canadian goose got protected status, and
Oh, really? So, 'cause we have
you can't.
like down here, they're overrunning everything. There's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
goose goose crap everywhere.
yeah. And their crap is huge. It's
Yeah,
actually really big. Yeah, no, it's a real problem here too. We actually have too many Canadian geese because like people feed them and then
right.
they sometimes don't even bother migrating because they get so well fed here. Yeah.
Yusa said it will be awesome to celebrate it. Good food and company. Christmas time is a big time, a whole lot of different foods and saying thanks, etc. And Yusa
Hmm.
says, Yusa's with you on the goose. He says, goose is so good.
Yeah, it's just different. Like we don't. It's not that often that nowadays people don't use it because, as I said, you know, it got protected status. But that was traditional
Right,
Canadian thing
right.
because it's a really common bird. The other thing that's wild turkey is really common too.
Up there, there's wild turkeys common up there. We don't have
I
turkey.
have wild
There
turkeys
are, I
walking
guess,
around my
a
neighborhood.
few. They have you have turkeys walking around your neighborhood. Wow, that's crazy.
Seriously, seriously. I like every time I see them though, I film them because I'm like, wow, that is so weird that there's these turkeys walking by, and they like they're I guess they're pretty aggressive. If you go too
Oh yeah,
close,
yeah.
they'll actually like attack you.
We used to have
So,
geese when I lived on a farm when I grew up, and we had geese, and the geese get really aggressive, but
mm. And
especially when they're
wild turkey are
defending
pretty
or
big.
protecting their nest.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we have a big blackberry briar down the street from us, and I just started seeing quail, with the little whoop thing that hangs over
Yeah,
there.
those are cool.
They're running around. They're so cute. They're running around everywhere, and
I've
um,
only seen them once in the wild, but
yeah.
that
So
was back
quail,
in
and
Nova
I've
Scotia.
seen started seeing some pheasant around here, which is interesting. So
I had friends that would hunt pheasant. Where I grew up in Nova Scotia, basically a lot of people.
Norin adds that geese have teeth. Norin is another person I did not mention. I should have. Norin, I appreciate you,
Mhm.
and I'm thankful for you commenting and saying stuff about my artwork. I love your artwork as well, so thankful to have you around and to be able to share things with you. So,
Cool.
yeah, so geese have teeth. Yes, and a lot of people don't know they have little teeth
They have like the
inside
little,
their
yeah, yeah.
bills.
I
And
don't
they'll
think you have to
strain the
worry
stuff.
about their teeth too much, but
They strain the you see them a lot of times. They'll put their bill in the water and strain out through the teeth, so
oh
they get
really?
whatever they're trying to grab out of the water.
Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah. So
So
there
yeah.
you go. Learn something new every day. Well,
Hmm.
Nora, on the rewind, you'll have to watch. You can watch me cry and talk about all the people that I love and care about in the YouTube community.
So yeah,
But
we'll make memes of you crying. That'll be awesome.
yeah, I'll be the crying YouTuber. Yeah. I think the thing that really set me off was talking about Larry in the
Mm,
in the beginning, talking about my mom. But you know, there's
mm.
those things. So, but yeah.
So
So
when do
it's
you?
not Thanksgiving up there for you. It's just another day.
It's just another day. The only thing that we've
Yeah.
sort of borrowed from the Americans is a Black Friday.
Oh, so you get Black Friday even though you don't have Thanksgiving. So
Yeah, so traditionally we didn't have even Black Friday. Like Black Friday is an American tradition, right? All the
so
sales
are
for.
you seeing? I was seeing some stuff on Instagram like Black Friday comic sales.
Yeah, so
So
I'm like really excited actually. I'm waiting for
yeah,
whatever because like my comic shop is, they have a Black Friday sale which is usually 50% off or something crazy. So I'm hoping,
50%, like five
yeah,
zero.
yeah,
Wow,
that
that's
was last
crazy.
year. I bought a ton of stuff. Um so yeah, so
Yeah, 50%. That's a hefty chunk, especially if it's like
some
some
big
big
book,
like
yeah.
a $5,000 book or something. $2,500 off. Woo!
Yeah, I'm not sure how it worked. I forgot what it was. I think it was like not all the big books, but some, I think I picked up a couple of nice big books from it
Yeah,
last year.
yeah, heck
Um,
yeah.
so what else? So yeah, so we have like sort of something similar to Black Friday, but it's around Christmas. We
Oh,
have
okay.
like it's called Boxing Day,
Isn't
and
that
it's
after Christmas?
yeah, it's the day after Christmas, and it's sort of when and all the stores have massive sales, like
Oh, okay.
50 to 75% off. So it's basically like you go to the store and it's just like filled with people going crazy and like battling each other for whatever thing it is
It's
that they're
Black
trying to
Friday,
get.
basically, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Black Friday, but it's in. But now we have both.
Those
So it's
those videos of Black Friday are serious deals. Hey Lyle, I shouted you out earlier as somebody that I was thankful for and appreciative of you always saying nice things about my artwork
yeah,
and,
Lyle's a great guy.
and commenting. So appreciate you, brother.
You should check out his like people should subscribe to his Instagram. He picked up a really great golden age collection and he's just gradually posting it out and it's like all these really obscure golden age stuff. It's really
That's
quite cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
There's
very worth.
a lot of the community members that aren't YouTubers that have great Instagram stuff. Well, I mean, Dan from Dan's X Men is another
Mhm.
example. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. we keep giving him a hard time, saying he needs to start making parody videos of all of us.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, all right. He's like, as long as I have the go ahead and you guys aren't going to get your feelings hurt, I'll make parody videos of you guys.
Well, you know, the one that you guys did, actually, the one that you did with What's Up on the Comic Rack, What's
Oh,
on the
the
Comic
Dungeons and
Rack,
Dragons one.
that was
Yeah,
awesome. That was really
yeah.
good. That is,
I've supplied him with some more material for a second one, and he says he's
mm,
working on it, but it's a work in progress.
I thought
I
that
don't
was
know if
really
you saw
funny.
his last video of what was the things that I collect, and it was his collection of Randy Bowen busts. But he at
No.
the end put in some clips that were outtakes from a video co-op that he did with Ricky from All Sorts of Words, and
Oh,
it just
okay.
said like about because there was a joke in there about Ricky sending him a stuffed animal with a hidden camera inside, and
Oh,
so
okay.
at one point he at the end of the video it's him walking into the kitchen, and I think like in his boxer shorts, and
Mhm.
he's like, honey, why is there a stuffed animal on top of the fridge? She's like, I don't know, maybe the kids put it there, and he's like, I'm putting it in the closet. It's creeping me out. And then he's putting it in, and then it's like, and then you hear him. He's putting it in the closet, and his hands are kind of go over the camera, and then it's like, hey, there's a camera in this thing. Then he's like,
That's cool.
that's hilarious. Well, thanks, Lyle. I appreciate that because he loves the art. So yeah,
Hmm.
I've really been, I don't know, been on a kick to share my artwork with people lately. So yeah, I even started putting my shorts on my channel, our art shorts
I
instead.
I'm glad you took my advice about coloring some of them. I thought that was cool.
So a confession, those Dungeons and Dragons ones are actually they were done several years ago.
Oh,
Um,
okay. I mean, some of
yeah,
those are really awesome though.
yeah. That's just an example of my inking and then coloring digitally. So I don't want you to think I'm whipping out these things like one a
I'm
day,
kidding. Like you're like
something.
I'm so impressed by how prolific you've
How
been. That's why.
fast he is! No,
He's
yeah,
awesome.
those were done several years ago as a tryout for Wizards of the Coast. So
Okay.
yeah,
So you're basically applying to like do like like is it Wizards of the Coast they do magic?
yeah, it was done to. Oh, thank you, son. It was done to apply for. I don't know if they still do the Dungeon magazine and Dragon magazine, and to do artwork for that. To do artwork for their, it was for Hasbro basically. So for any of their
Mm,
fancy lines. So for Dungeons and Dragons, for was it for the Magic the Gathering, and any card games that they were coming out with. So, and then there's also stuff on my channel that is a tryout that I did for DC Comics as well, where I went up and
mhm.
talked to them in Seattle at the Emerald City Comic Con, and the editor,
Okay.
the Batman editor, I want to say it's Bob. At the time, I can't remember his name now. Anyway, the Batman editor, I showed him my stuff, and he says, "Well, your stuff is better than probably 40-50% of the guys that I have working on my staff right now." But he's like,
Oh
"It's
wow.
not. Unfortunately, it's not who you know or how good you are, or it's not." It's not how good you are, it's who you know and what your connections are in the industry. So I said, yeah, if
Mhm.
you want to send me some unpaid submissions, like a 10 paid submission every month for the next year or two, I might be able to get you a backup story here or there. And I was like,
Wow.
you want me to do how much art for free that's not going to get used for
And
anything?
for like couple years.
And then maybe I'll get a backup story. It's like,
Wow.
and a lot of the other artists were like, hey, the way to do it is to do your stuff online and produce like an online comic or a or do a nowadays
Kickstarter.
a lot more people are doing the Kickstarter, and so that wasn't the thing back then. This was done, I want to say this was like about 12 years ago that I did the submission to DC. And yeah, so a lot of the guys were encouraging me to self-publish or to do stuff online, and
Hmm.
instead of doing that I opened a second comic shop. So
Well, that's probably better. Probably
yeah, I
better
mean,
than
made more financial sense at the time.
yeah.
Uh,
But Yeah, it's so hard to be an artist. Like, the starving artist is not.
That's a real thing, right?
It's a real thing. It's not just like, it's not just a stereotype. It's the actuality for most of them.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
have to get with K-pop Junkie, and I know she's really well connected with the Kickstarter thing too. If we do our book, she can help us get
mhm.
our feet on the
Yeah,
ground. And
like, I should send you over what I wrote. I mean, I've done like the first like 4 or 5 pages, right?
did I tell you I was going through stuff and I found a box? I don't know if you ever read the book Seven Guys of Justice back in the day. It was like a '90s independent book.
Hmm.
My buddy Brian Joins is a writer for comics. I think I don't even know if Oni's still around, but he was writing for Oni for a long time. Um,
Hmm.
but so he asked me to come on. He lost his artist for Seven Guys of Justice and asked me. He's like, it's been like a month or two. We haven't had an issue. I want to do a giant size issue. Like we're gonna take like a 6 month hiatus. We're gonna do a giant size issue, which is gonna cover all the things that have happened in the last 6 months.
Hmm.
Uh, and so I was working on that. I think it was gonna be I want to say 60-page issue, something like that. And I got like 40 plus pages done for it. And then he went through a really messy breakup where he was just like a shambles of himself. He wasn't available.
Hmm.
And so everything kind of got put on hold. And then right
Hmm.
after that, I went through a really messy divorce.
Hmm.
And then everything got put on hold. And then when I finally everything came back together, he's like, I just don't think that now is the right time. And so I have all these pages of artwork with the script and everything all done for this book that's
Oh,
never going to come
wow.
out. I was like, I need to reach out to him and say, like, hey, you
Yeah,
want to do
reach
like
out to him
a
and get it
Seven Guys of
published.
Justice special, the lost issue or whatever?
Yeah, do a Kickstarter campaign for it. I mean, why
Yeah,
not?
yeah,
I'm
yeah. It
sure
would be
people would
fun.
buy it,
It's like, yeah, because I mean, I did all that work on it, so
and you can
I
promote
look
it
at
on
some of
your
it. I
channel.
kind of cringe at some of the pages. I go, "Oh, I could do better than that now." But
Well, I
a
mean,
lot of it, I'm
you
like,
can always revisit those that artwork,
yeah,
right?
a lot of it, I look at it, I go, oh, it still holds up. I like it.
Yeah,
So, hey,
yeah.
Ashley, good to see you here. Just talking about things that we are thankful for and the people that we're thankful for, and you are one of those people, sir. Appreciate you being part of the community and commenting and talking to us when we're doing videos, and
Mm.
we just appreciate all you guys. So
But
without you, there's no us, right?
by the way, is your channel monetized now?
No, I'm still like I'm only like a third of the way I need for watch hours. So
Oh man. So
I still gotta
everybody
get,
start watching more Bigby content. I'm
yeah,
gonna.
all my long form content, not just my shorts. Shorts, if they counted my shorts, then I would have, because I have like it's unbelievable. They're less than 30 seconds most of the time, but the amount of hours that I have in shorts is
Mhm.
incredible, but they don't count those as watch hours.
Okay, so just watch the
So
long content format.
I have a playlist that's called long form content. So
Okay, that's the one we
turn
gotta watch.
the volume down to one. It doesn't even have to. You can't put it to zero, but turn the
That
volume.
was my mistake. I actually watched. I had it playing, and I thought, oh,
Uh,
I'm helping Bigby, and then afterwards, you guys told me that. I'm like, oh, that was
yeah, if it's
just
on zero, it doesn't count. So
yeah.
the volume has to be up a little bit. But
Okay, I'll do that. But I'm gonna make it. I want to get you the watch hours. So.
yeah, I need to get there to get monetized, but that would be cool. Would help me definitely with the comic book hunting and stuff.
Mhm.
Have a little extra spending money in my pocket to do that, but you know,
Yeah, it's not going to be big money. Like I can tell you, like my channel, I make $130 a month.
hey, that's 130 bucks I didn't have to spend on
Yeah,
a
yeah,
big
yeah. I
book
mean,
or
that's like a
yeah,
couple cool comics. Yeah.
yeah. Like Glass says he's thankful for everyone in the comic community and his family that supports his search for golden age oddities. That's cool.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, uh, I don't have it on this video, but I have a lot of time. I used to put a lot of times the buy me a coffee, and I think I've had like two people buy me a coffee.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I've got like $10. One of them was my friend Marcus that I said earlier, and one of the other I think was Tina was on one of my live streams. She's like, I said something about, oh yeah. She's like, do you make money off of this? I'm like, no, not really. I have buy me a coffee on there, and then she's like, hey, I bought you a coffee. I was like, what? So
That's
yeah,
cool.
so, yeah. It's like a $5 donation at each good time or whatever. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's it. All
yeah, I
helps,
think I
right?
have it in my channel description. There's a, hey, you like my content? You can buy me a coffee. So,
That's
all
very
right,
cool.
so, yeah. I
Because yeah,
learned that through Mike from Lunch Money Comics.
I'm
Yes.
gonna put like you can buy me a chamber of chills.
There is that. You can on the buy me a coffee, you can put down goals. So you can be like, hey, I'm working towards getting AF-15 or whatever. I'm working towards getting even a
my
giant size X-Men #1. Here's where we're at. So people can see
my
that.
big
Maybe
thing
I need to
is
do that. But
yeah, earning the money to pay for Chamber of Chills 19. That's my, isn't it?
there you
That-
go. There you go.
That's what I'm raising money for right now.
Where are you at with your subscribers, your channel members? You were
Not
doing like
many.
unique
I
content.
think I have like 5 channel members.
You guys go become channel members. Alan shows all the racy stuff to the channel members.
Yeah, you knew about that. Eh?
Yeah,
I showed like all the stuff that I can't show, like you know. So
yeah.
yeah, it's all the secret
All the
stuff.
all the you need to do a zombie tramp by the
I
special
did do
covers.
Zombie
Yeah.
Tramp.
So
I
did
I
you?
showed
There you
all
go.
these Zombie Tramp covers. Yeah, because some of them, they're really cool, but they're not meant for kids. It's
Right,
just like the
right,
finger censoring gets a little awkward sometimes. Yeah.
right, right.
So yeah.
Actually,
So
it was great for you to join. I appreciate you being here. Yes, has got to leave. Continue helping his sister make Thanksgiving dinner. Well, it's good to see you. Thank you.
wow. Actually, right now, I'm actually looking for people to interview. I need at least 3 more interviews for my
You hear that, people? Anybody who's out there right now, Yusa,
yeah. This is the time.
contact Alan on Comic Collector Geek on Instagram. Uh, he'll interview you and get you some more
Subs.
subscribers.
Usually,
Uh,
like I find people get about anywhere from 20 to 30 subs after being on my
yeah,
channel. Yeah,
and
it's
it's
not
just
like
fun to hang out and
massive,
talk
but
comic books with a fellow
geek.
collector. Yeah, with a fellow geek. That's right. That's right.
But yeah, so yeah, I need some more. I have like I think 2 or 3 more interviews scheduled, but then I'm not covered for Christmas time because I'm going to be away for Christmas, so I need
Did you get
those.
Sophie? Uh,
No, no.
no. Okay. Yusa says interview. Okay, I'm down. So there you
Okay,
go.
so yeah, just contact me on Instagram, Comic Collector
Yeah.
Geek, and then I will interview you. And also, I'm looking for. I was hoping Colossus was going to come on my channel, and
Here, I will message him right now.
tell him,
Yeah.
yeah, I need interviews. I need at least, and then Sean, I'd like to get, and
Pop
then
Comics.
Alex,
Oh,
and also Alex said he was going to come, but I don't know. He's been promising me for years. Um,
have you done Trev,
yeah,
the
I've done
shipping guru?
Travis. Yeah, Travis has been on my channel.
No, no, Trev, the shipping guru.
Trev, who?
Trev, the shipping guru.
No, no, tell him to
Oh,
come.
yeah. Um,
Like anyone that needs like more subs for their channels and have cool comics to show, that's what I'm looking for, really. You know, it doesn't have to be the biggest channels out there, have to come on my channel. I like talking to random people. Actually, I prefer it when they're like just fellow collectors that you know enjoy the hobby, right?
I'm telling him that you are begging him to
Begging.
to come on the channel and be interviewed at some point.
Yeah, the other one that I was supposed to get on my channel was K-pop. She said she was going to do it at some point, but then we never seemed to schedule anything, so I don't know.
Well, here I'll message her about that too. Anybody else
Yeah,
you'd like me to message, Alan?
I don't know. Bueller, get Bueller to come on my channel,
All right, I will message Bueller as well.
and then I don't know anyone.
Did you
Actually,
get Karen? Did you get Karen's pages yet?
no, I asked her, and then she never got back to me. Like
Okay.
she said, I think she said sort of at the time, and then then never really got back to me. So I don't know.
I hooked her up with Bry's Comics. He needed a artwork expert,
Oh, okay.
and she got a bunch of subs from that.
I can imagine his channel's quite big. Prize.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, I haven't really had much time to watch other comic book people recently. Like I've been sort of busy. I feel guilty. I haven't really been keeping up with watching other people's content.
How about Bronze Age Nerd? Have you interviewed him?
No, yeah, I actually enjoy his content too. Yeah, I'd like to interview him. Sure.
All right, I'm hitting him up. Like I said, he
Cool.
and I were on the phone last night for like hours.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I
So,
need those people. Like, I'm not sure if they know me, but yeah.
I will make sure to mention your name, Comic Collector.
That's cool. Thank you, Brian. That's nice.
Anything I can do to help you out, my friend. Anything I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do.
And you're always welcome to come on my channel for a second interview.
Yeah, if you need
Did we
content.
do a second interview already though?
No, we did one. We only did one. Actually, I really enjoyed doing that interview. I thought it came out really well. The
Yeah,
one that
we
we
can
did.
do another one. Yeah. I mean, there's no harm in interviewing the same people. You're always picking up cool stuff. So I
Well,
like the fact because
it's funny because I have a confession to make. Like a lot of these guys that aren't in the chat groups that I'm in are like, "Oh, it's been over a week since I've been on a buying spree," and I'm like, "I haven't bought any comics since beginning of October.
okay.
I
Well, that's
just
good
have
for you.
so
I
much stuff
actually,
to go through, you
yeah,
know."
I just organized my comic room yesterday. I finally got it where it looks presentable. See, look, I'll show you.
I know it.
Actually,
I saw you doing that. That looks
no,
beautiful,
no,
buddy.
yeah.
So
Here,
Eustace says he's down for your interview. He's going to reach out.
I'll
And
walk over.
Lyle is asking how long your interviews are. Lyle, they just kind of however long you want to talk. It's not
Yeah,
like a
Lyle,
scheduled
you're
amount of
welcome.
time.
Well, Lyle's a friend of mine. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. I didn't know he would be interested. So, see,
Yeah.
isn't that look cool? I don't know. So, I don't know. That was I was sorting that out. So all the books in behind are now all sorted. I actually know where things are.
Oh, I don't know if you're still here, Doug, but thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Appreciate it. He's got to jump. Families at the house. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. So, yeah. It's funny. There's a game store that I used to hang out with. Yeah, and your room looks awesome, by the way.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
amazing. Great job on organizing that. I'm sure that was not a small undertaking.
Yeah,
But
no,
there's a game store I used to hang out at, and they would have a Thanksgiving evening. They would open up in the evening on Thanksgiving because they're like, at some point you're going to be sick of hanging out with your family, and you can
yeah,
come
yeah.
hang out here and hide. And they would be open until 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, so
Oh
people
wow,
didn't have
that'd
to
be so
go.
fun.
Yeah. Hey, K-pop just jumped on.
Hey,
There she
K-pop, I
is.
was trying to interview you, by the way, K-pop. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Yuta says it's 11 p.m. where he's at. Well, it's 12, almost 1 o'clock here,
Yeah,
1 in the
it's
afternoon.
4. Is it 3 or
So
4 for me? I have no idea what time it is.
let's see.
I think it's like
Uh,
4 o'clock here.
let's see. Who did I just said something to? Somebody just said something to me. So K-pop says you need to let her know when, and she'll do it.
No, anytime. Like I schedule around people's needs. Like whenever
So
works for
K-pop,
them.
you need to let him know when. You
Yeah.
tell him,
Like because
Alan, be
I
here
own
at
my own
this time,
company,
this
so
place.
I can just schedule around other people.
He works for himself from home, so
Yeah. Like I don't have to
that's why
answer to anyone.
he's able to do like jump on
On
and I
random
work a
live
thing that's
streams.
like not even any kind of flexibility, and he'll be like, "Hey, go in line in 5 minutes." I'm
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
"I'm racing home from the job."
mm. So yeah, so for me it's like it's pretty easy to do like whenever.
Well, I like to search for comics and things for people as well, and I've done so for some of your viewers. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
actually,
cool.
Lyle was trying to help me find my Zombie Tramp #3, but no
I
luck so
needed to
far.
look at. I was going to ask you. There was a Dave on West Coast had some early Zombie Tramp in his auction last night. I wasn't able to watch or see what issues he had, but I don't know if they
Hmm.
actually sold. So you might reach out to him and say, ask him if he has a #3.
Yeah, it's super rare. Usually,
Right.
the #3 is the third series that people have.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
K-pop, you missed out on me. You'll have to rewatch the rewind. Watch me say how much I love you guys and appreciate you, and then cry. So. Uh, so.
yeah,
Wow, so he's still looking for that one for you, Ellen. He's
thank
still
you.
on the lookout. So there you
It's hard
go.
to find. It's like so
The
annoying.
bat signal is still up.
Hmm. But
K-pop says, "Oh, no."
so yeah, so yeah, I don't know. What was I gonna say? I don't know. Thanksgiving's kind of interesting. I always thought it's sort of like the most family orientated holiday, even more so than
It,
Christmas.
it, it is, I think, because you get a lot more of the extended family. Where Christmas a lot of
Hmm.
times is just immediate family. So
Yeah,
um,
and I find like Christmas has become too commercial, so it's more like, oh, what gifts
hey,
and
Charlie
stuff like that.
Brown.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Christmas was becoming way too commercial back in the '60s, right? That's when they did that movie. And
yeah. I love that
it's only,
movie.
yeah, it's a great movie.
I was always
And
very
the Charlie
sympathetic
Brown
to that
Thanksgiving
girl
is good
tree.
too.
Mm.
Norin says it's the most traveled holiday as well. So people
Oh,
travel the most
really? Because
distance.
people
Yeah.
are flying around to get to people's houses and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're going to go see family, planes, trains, and automobiles, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's a great Thanksgiving movie. Um, a hard one to find. Sad Sack #1, 1943. There you go.
I just picked it up. I won it
Oh,
on
there you go.
Heritage, so
Oh,
it's
nice.
in that big Stackery unboxing that I'll be doing.
Sweet. Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool. There
So
you go,
yeah.
Lyle. Something to look forward to.
So this year I got 9 out of 10 of all the books that I was aiming for. I was aiming for 10. My top 10 wanted list. I got 9 of them, so that was pretty good.
K-pop says it's also the #1 day for drunken driving, so be careful. So yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Actually,
Do be careful.
usually around here it's Christmas that's bad for that.
So I heard that one of the top ones is Super Bowl Sunday. Because you drink when your team is winning, you drink when your team is losing. So
Yeah, yeah,
there's
I
a
can imagine.
new horror movie called Thanksgiving that looks great. Yeah, I saw that. It looks pretty. It's like some town that
Yeah.
celebrates the pilgrims, and they have the pilgrim mask, and there's a pilgrim mask killer guy out there.
Hmm. So yeah, that one I don't know. It looked interesting. I always like I like horror movies. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, there's some great ones out there. That one actually does look pretty interesting, and that's actually, and I find it interesting that it's because we're all hanging out with our families and everything. I think it's like, hey, what can we all do as a family that's not going to drive ourselves insane? Let's go to a movie, So
Yeah, yeah. Celebrate Thanksgiving by watching Thanksgiving Slaughter. That's good.
right, right.
So
K-pop
yeah,
says she heard that Thanksgiving was good. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out.
yeah.
Um, uh,
I think I heard some weird stat about horror movies that pretty much if you make a horror movie, it's almost guaranteed to make money. It's like it's just a thing.
because the budget isn't as expensive as a lot of the other um,
Yeah.
movies. I found out something that I heard the other day. The Scream movies, where the guy
Hmm.
every time he kills somebody or stabs somebody, he goes like this with the knife, wipes the blood off.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know what? Do you know why he did that?
It's probably like an homage to something else.
It was continuity in between the cuts. They didn't want to have to go back and make sure that the same amount of
Oh,
blood was on the knife or anything. So they had it. They're like, every time you kill somebody or you stab somebody, you wipe the blood off and then you go
oh
after them with a
wow.
clean knife. Yeah.
That's very
So
cool. Because yeah, it'd be hard to track how much blood is on the knife because you're walking around, it's dripping everywhere, and
Yusa says in Finland, Midsummer Eve is the most dangerous because of the drinking and driving, but also a lot of people drown because of drinking. Oh, wow.
oh wow, okay.
So
Whenever I
you
think
said
of
did you see that
Midsummer,
movie Midsommar? Did
that's
you
what
see
I was
that? Yeah, I was
thinking.
just gonna say, what'd you think of that movie? Was it good? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, but that's the funny thing is that's Sweden.
Is that Sweden? Well,
Mm.
Sweden and Finland are
Yeah, they're
close-ish.
close. They're next to each other, so
You
that's all. That's all that matters. Actually,
says you love that movie. There you
yeah, I
go.
thought that. Yeah, my wife, whenever we watch like some random movie like that, she's like, "Oh, we got to go there." So we actually, after we watched Midsummer, my wife
Oh,
planned a
look,
trip to
Ellen, they
Sweden.
burned somebody alive. We got to go there.
Yeah, no, seriously. So she planned a trip there. So we actually went to Sweden because of Midsummer. It's
Oh,
like
that's
she's trying to.
cool.
I think she's trying to kill us off. I don't know. It's like
There you go.
thing.
She's
Thing
like,
my wife.
I'll be the woman who lives through the pageant, and you'll get burned in the house.
Exactly. So yeah, and then it was funny. Like we watched one. I forgot what it was called, but it was like some bear one where this couple goes into like the park and this bear attacks them. so
The
so we went
cocaine
camping
bear?
the next week.
Was it cocaine bear?
No, not cocaine bear. It was a different one.
Oh,
But it was
okay.
actually we actually went to the park where that bear attack happened.
Oh, geez, great. I
Yeah,
saw
and
somebody
there
had done
actually
an
was funny when
homage.
we it was funny when we went there. There was all these bear warnings, beware of bears, but we didn't see
Uh,
any bears.
it was funny. Somebody did an homage to that cocaine bear poster, but it was cocaine Ewok.
Oh,
It's
okay,
this Ewok with the white powder
with
all over his
the
face.
powder all over his face. Actually, cocaine bear was funny. I liked cocaine bear. I actually thought it was well done.
Yusa says Finland is bilingual, and for example, he also speaks Swedish.
Hmm.
They are under Sweden's rule. Okay. And I just got a
Okay,
response from Bronze Age Nerd for you. Let's see. What did he say?
never.
Is he? Where? Let me. I'll invite him again. I did invite him to come join.
Oh, okay.
I invited Katie too, but she's probably busy with her family and everything.
Yeah, I mean, imagine everyone's kind of busy. Like you picked the worst time for that finale. By the way, I really would have liked to have come, but I was just
I'm
like I
sorry,
had
brother.
no, it's not your fault. I mean, but I wish I could have came to that. I would have liked to have,
I wished you
put,
could have came too. It would have been fun. But
yeah,
I figured you'd catch it on the rewind.
yeah. So but yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that I kind of like this. You're almost making your own like thingy, like a year long event, with
Yeah.
so I think it's really awesome.
Norin says you need to watch Eden Lake with Michael Fassbender, Magneto.
Eden Lake. I don't know that one.
And he says you'll never go camping again.
I'm not sure. So wait, I'm not sure if I've seen that. The
What's
last
Eden
thing I
Lake
saw,
about, Norin? Is it a bear or is it just like a whole bunch of terrible things happening in the campground?
yeah, the last one I saw with Fassbender was the Killer.
Oh yeah, I heard that's good. I haven't seen it yet.
Uh,
Um,
I thought it was kind of dumb, actually.
did you? All right.
I didn't really like it, but Critical Drinker liked it. I don't know. I didn't really think it was that good. I thought it
Fassbender
was
says or Yusuf says Fassbender was cool in Blood Creek. What
Blood
did I just
Creek
watch the other day? I watched a horror movie the other day. I watched X. Um,
X.
it's about it takes place in the 70s and it's or maybe late 60s, early 70s.
Hmm.
And Dan says, "Do you guys enjoy camping?" From Dan's X-Men. Dan, have you been on the whole
Um,
time? I've been talking about you and haven't you just kind of randomly
I don't
come
mind camping.
in?
Um,
Yusuf says he also enjoys Henry Cavill. But back to X. Noran Rad says bad kids mess up a couple's camping trip. Okay.
oh, okay.
So X is about these people back in the late 60s, early 70s making an adult film
Oh, I heard about that one. I've
on
never
the
seen it.
property of this elderly couple down in like Texas, and
Yeah, yeah, no, I heard about that.
everything goes
And they try to kill
wrong.
them, right?
Yeah, Lyle says Bigby. We're both on the West Coast, Bigfoot country. Makes for great stories. My dad, so I'm Alaskan Native. That's why I'm also
Mhm.
several other Native American heritage. But my dad told me so many Bigfoot stories from his personal experiences from Alaska, and then he was a log truck driver
Okay.
that scared the hell out of me as a kid. I would walk through the forest and I would be like terrified, but I still out there playing in the woods by myself. So
Was it Bigfoot or Yeti? Would it be considered Yeti, or would you guys go Bigfoot?
Yeti's in Nepal, isn't he? Up in the
Yeah, yeah,
Himalayas and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so
There's
in Alaska, it'd be
Sasquatch.
Bigfoot. Yeah,
Sasquatch is the word I
Sasquatch.
was looking
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
Sasquatch.
But yeah. So yeah, X was pretty good. I liked it.
Hmm.
Uh, Eustace says he loves Bigfoot stories and movies and the whole lore. Big
The
country for sure.
the thing
Yeah,
that
so
bothers
my
me about Bigfoot is that we only had that one picture, really. That one where it's obviously a guy walking around in a suit.
I don't know. I mean, there's the whole thing. Hey, Trev, happy Thanksgiving.
Hey,
I
Trev.
mentioned you, brother, on
Yeah.
the
So, Trev, if you want
couple
to
people
reach
that
out to
I
me, you can
yes,
get
Alan
interviewed.
is
I'm seeking
looking for
people to
people to
interview.
interview. So please hit him up on Instagram if you would like to be interviewed. And
And usually what I'll
yeah,
do is just do a whole bunch all at once and then just schedule them out. Then I don't have to worry about it for a while.
Lyle
But
says when to go up where you're at there,
yeah,
Caesar,
Wendigos. Yeah.
Alan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wendigos are more like northern
yeah.
Sasquatch, I would say. I was thinking of Wendigos as being like
So the
white.
lore of the Wendigo is like what people who go cannibal,
Yeah, yeah,
up
yeah.
in the wilderness, and
Yeah.
then
Did you ever see the movie Ravenous?
I see the name sounds.
It's
So
really good. It's
when I was a kid, my friends and I, we went through Blockbuster Video, and we would watch every horror movie they had in the
mhm.
Blockbuster Video. Then we would go to the mom and pop shops, and we pick like a mom and pop shop and go through and pick out every movie we hadn't seen, every horror
Yeah,
movie, and then we'd go to another mom and pop shop and start picking out. So we used to watch
I did the
so
same.
many. Yes. He's Eustace says Ravenous is awesome, one of his faves. Have you
Yeah.
seen or what is Ravenous about?
It's like sort of set in the frontier kind of land, and one of these guys he eats humans, and it makes
Oh,
him
okay.
stronger. And you can sense that it does make him stronger because he's just
Oh,
sort
I
of,
think I've seen that. Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's just really desperate to eat more people. Basically, it's like,
Who's the guy
and
who
it's really
plays
well done though.
the Winter Soldier? Uh,
Um, what's like I forgot
I
who.
just saw him in a horror movie not too long
I
ago.
think it was the guy actually from Hulk, the guy that played the Red Hulk. The not is it Red Hulk? Not Red Hulk, but no, the guy that played Abomination,
No,
isn't it?
that's not.
I
No,
think
no,
the guy
no.
that's the guy from Ravenous. I might be mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was saying. I was asking. Sebastian Stan is the guy who played the Winter Soldier. I saw him in a horror movie just recently called Fresh.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and he plays the part of a doctor who supplies meat to the black market for cannibals,
Oh,
and
nice.
he goes preying on women who are lonely and who have no real connection to their family and stuff, and he will kind of seduce them
And then bring them
and
home
then
for
chain
dinner.
them up, and then he's like, well, I gotta eat. He will take pictures of them, and then like he'll take piece by piece. So these people will get these like overnighted packages and in the coolers and everything, and it'll be he's like, oh yeah, more for breast meat it's so much per pound, and for this it's so much per
Oh, wow.
and it's this whole thing about this woman trying to um, escape him, and so she totally cons him into she seduces him back and then escapes.
Mhm.
It's really
Oh,
good.
that's cool.
Dan says Brian had been in and out making food. Have to rewind. All right. Well, that's cool. Definitely
But
rewind.
what was the movie? I've
He
seen
played a
there's a
great villain, by the way. I mean, he was a really great, and that he's the guy they're suggesting should play Luke Skywalker in the movies. I guess he and Mark
oh,
Hamill
really?
have a lot very
Okay,
similar facial features, and he looks very
that would
much
be
like Mark
cool.
Hamill. Yeah.
I, was I mistaken on this? Did I hear that they were thinking of redoing the original trilogy?
I have not heard that. That would be interesting. Was it
Um,
there's that new thing coming out too. Was that Rebel Moon, which is not related to Star Wars, but that looks really cool.
okay.
The sci-fi show looks very Star Wars esque, but it's
Hmm.
not a Star Wars movie. But I thought it looked really
Okay,
cool.
that'd be cool. I mean,
Yeah,
I would like to see Star Wars done right. If they could, make a few good Star Wars movies. Like I enjoyed
yeah.
Rogue One. That was actually a good movie.
Did you see the
Um,
movie The Creator? This came
I
out
heard that
recently.
was good. I heard that was good. I just
Yeah,
haven't
I
had a chance to
enjoyed
see
that a
it.
lot actually. The one about
I
the AI and the
I heard that they had a really low budget, yet it didn't look like a low budget film.
oh god, it looked very high budget. It looked
Yeah,
great. I enjoyed it a lot.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, it shows that if you want to make a good movie, you can. It just they
Yeah,
have to.
no, I thought it was and it has that guy, the Asian
Denzel
guy from
Washington's son, I think it is.
well, the Asian guy that's in Godzilla and all of the other. He plays
Oh,
such a great
him.
character, almost like a samurai all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's always a samurai. He's a
Yeah,
bit typecast.
typecast.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, though. Yeah.
So Norin
Um.
says Rebel Moon was pitched as a Star Wars movie.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, Yusa says also. So Norin said Rebel Moon was pitched as a Star Wars movie, but they said no, so he turned it into Rebel Moon. And then Yusa
That's
says Rebel Moon was Snyder's scrapped Star Wars movie. Disney did not want it, so he did it with Netflix.
the. I mean, that's actually bodes well for it. If Disney didn't want it, it must be good.
Lyle says a high budget like Blair Witch Project. There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah. Well, Blair,
So
I
so
actually, I'm one of the few people that didn't like Blair Witch Project. I found it very dizzy. I got nauseous watching it.
I thought it's one of them when we did the talking about our favorite horror movies for Brandon's channel. I said that was one of my favorite horror movies. Still scares me to watch that movie.
So for
Um,
me, it didn't scare me, and also I found it ruined movies for a while because after Blair Witch was so successful, then it was like there was a period like Paranormal Activity, all these kind of ones where it's like the
I
shaky
love
camera.
I
I actually
love
like
found footage.
Paranormal
I love
Activity
found
actually.
footage movies. I like found footage movies.
Oh,
So
there's just so many of
there's
them,
that.
but there
Yeah.
were so
So
many after
we
that,
differ
right?
on that. So yeah.
No, but there
Um,
was a few good ones. There was one where what was it like? They found tapes in this house.
oh, VHS.
VHS. That
You know, the
was a
guys
good
break
movie.
into the house. That's pretty good. Yeah, that one
That's a
has
good
some good
movie.
stuff.
And so there are
Yeah,
some good ones. I'm not like saying it like the whole genre is terrible. I just found that I just don't like the shaky camera. I just like that
yeah,
bothers me.
yeah.
Um,
I was gonna circle back to the whole Bigfoot thing, talk about
oh,
my
okay.
dad and some of his stories. Like, so he
Oh
used
yeah,
to
yeah.
drive log truck, right? And one of his stories that he told me was he's driving down the road up near Mount St. Helens,
Hmm.
which is just not too far from here where I live.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's coming down the road in his log truck, fully loaded, and he sees this. He thought it was this hippie, all dressed in a fur coat, squatting down next to the road up ahead.
Oh, okay.
And the guy looked like he was kind of had one foot on the road, like he was gonna to walk across it, but he squatted down, kind of looking at the road. And so he pops the brakes on his truck. Well, this hippie stood up and he's like, "That's one tall hippie." And he said the guy took 2 steps, made it all the way across the road, this big, huge road in 2 steps,
Hmm.
and off into the ditch and into the forest. And so he's like, he got out of his truck, went up, and he looked, and where the guy stepped down, he's like, he would have had to like, you know, climb down this embankment, but the guy just stepped off of it into the,
Yeah, yeah. So he's like
yeah,
probably 8 feet tall or 7 feet tall or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Lyle says there were 2 movies his parents wouldn't let us watch: The Exorcist and Deliverance. I'm old.
both of those are great movies too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lauren says the Blair Witch sequel was a little bit better, but I didn't care for it either.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yusuf says he didn't like Blair Witch. He thought it was boring, but that's just him. Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And shaky. I just was so nauseous afterwards. My wife was scared.
Yusuf
I
liked Deliverance.
There was actually there was
See,
a movie
movies like
recent.
Deliverance and stuff like that, stuff that can really happen, that kind of stuff scares me
Yeah,
a lot.
that's more to me. That's more scary, actually.
Right? Yeah.
Um, Actually, there was a movie that was recently just came out on Netflix, but I saw it in theater. Smile. That's a good movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but yeah,
That's actually
I
quite
saw it
good.
on Amazon Prime, I think, or something was they had it.
Very simple, but yet really well done.
Norin says favorite found footage is The Fourth Kind, and he says it's very scary.
I think I've seen that one as well. I don't really remember it, but I do. I remember the name. So,
Oh,
but
and he says it actually uses real found footage, so that's even
oh,
scarier.
really?
There you go.
The fourth kind. I'll have to
That's yeah, I'll have
rewatch
to check
that
that
maybe.
out. Is
But I
that the
was a
one
big.
about? Is that the one with the Norin? Is that the one where it has the psychologist helping people remember lost memories?
Oh,
Maybe so.
maybe I haven't seen that.
Lady in Alaska is a therapist. Okay, yeah, yeah, and she's helping people remember things that they have like forgotten time and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. I'm a
People in the
big.
town are seeing aliens. There you go. Yep.
Mm,
Yeah.
I'm
So there you go. We got a little Thanksgiving horror fest going on here.
very really relevant stuff. Yeah.
Did you uh
Um.
did you like that baby teeth horror piece that I did?
Oh yeah, yeah. You've been doing some creepy stuff, or I'm not sure if you've been doing these recently
That
or
was
this is
done
older.
that was done again back probably like 8, 9 years ago, but it was for a horror magazine. And the
Oh,
story
okay.
was this fella's dad passes away,
Hmm.
and this and he and his father had a falling out. He hasn't seen his father in like 10 plus years or 12 plus years, something like that. Anyway, he goes back to his father's house to go through his effects and everything. And he
Hmm.
opens the door and he starts hearing like footsteps around the house and stuff. And he's finding all of these notes from his father about the child and about the this and that and the other, and like the flawed experiment and all of this. His father was
Hmm.
a scientist and everything. And At some point, he gets hit over the head and he wakes up and he's uh, duct tape all duct taped up, and there's this kid with a paper bag over his face, and you can see that underneath the torn out holes for his eyes and his mouth, he's all disfigured underneath. And
Okay.
he's like, father made me to replace you after you left, but he only had your baby teeth to use for the cloning process. And
Oh wow.
he's like, I can never grow any larger than I am now. He's like, but I'm about to fix that. And he comes at the guy with the pliers and
And
to
get some new teeth.
pulled all his, yeah. So you see the picture in that picture, the guy's he's screaming and he has no teeth. He's just got blood dripping between his gums.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah.
That's one of my paranoias. I really I don't like the idea of losing teeth. I think that's really creepy.
Yuta says he likes a Bobcat Goldthwait Bigfoot found footage movie, but he cannot remember the name. It's also Big Country. It's awesome. Okay.
Hmm.
There was a Bigfoot documentary thing that I was watching that was taking itself halfway serious, and then like at the very end, it just goes off the rails and it's total comedy. I forget what the name was. It's like, yeah, it's almost like a Blair Witch type of thing, but then at the end, it's just goofy as all heck. And
I think I saw one sort of semi-serious like Bigfoot kind of like documentary where it's like these zoologists, what I'm talking about,
uh,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And they were like, they had all these devices to try to track and find Bigfoot, and still we didn't get anything from them. Like, they were always saying, oh, we hear these sounds and stuff like that. They'd have
uh-huh.
like the different things like in the
The
forest to basically.
knocks, the knocks of the rocks
Yeah,
on the trees and stuff,
yeah,
and then the screams and all that. There's a
yeah.
I saw a really good one about there's a valley up there in British Columbia that people still it's barely explored because so many people have died
Hmm.
mysteriously and everything. It was people were going there searching for gold and silver back in the gold rush days.
Oh yeah.
But almost everybody who ever went there, they would, lose
Get
contact with them, and a year later they go back to, years later, a year or a year two later, they go up to try to find out what happened to them in the places. They'd find their bodies headless, you know,
wow.
and the their encampments torn down to the ground, So,
Oh
oh, I lost Alan. No,
no,
I
yeah,
have him
I'm
back.
back. I'm back. No, that was weird.
Yeah.
I just sort of cut out for 1 second there.
You're okay. You're still there. It said, yeah. It's like I have a guest backstage. No, it's still Alan.
Yeah, that
Um,
was weird.
yeah. So, somebody asked me a question on Instagram about you. Hang on. What was it? I'm asking people about you coming on for interviews. So Colossus said he this is the first he's heard about you being interested in having him for an interview. So
I
yeah.
talked to him on the live stream once, and I said I wanted him to do the interview.
Well, I will say you were asking if he could please reach out.
Yeah, so people just tell me when works for you, and I'll schedule around it and make it all happen.
Let's see. I got everybody. Oh my goodness. So this chat group I'm in, everybody's sending pictures of their Thanksgiving food. Somebody
Oh
posted
wow.
on Instagram. They have the picture of Conan when he's on the tree of woe when he
Oh
and
okay.
the birds are waiting, the vultures are waiting to eat him, and he reaches
Mm-hmm.
over with his mouth and he bites the vulture. Do you remember that part
Yeah, yeah,
in the movie? They have that part where he's biting the vulture and it says Happy Thanksgiving.
yeah. That's awesome. I love the Conan movies. I thought they were great.
Yeah, actually, I even liked the second one. I thought
Yeah, me too.
it was okay, especially
I
as a
like
little
the
kid.
fact that it had more magic in it. It's like
Yeah, it had more of a fantasy aspect. I mean, the first one had the whole thing with James Earl Jones turning into the snake and stuff,
yeah,
which I
yeah,
thought
that's true too.
was
Yeah, yeah,
pretty cool. But
yeah.
let's see, Lyle says Bigfoot will always be on the West Coast. Well, there's nowhere to hide in the prairies. That's true. And then Eustace says, it would be cool to be a cryptozoologist, although I don't think I could earn any money. Just read a horror book, Haunted Forest Tour, and
So
they were studying monsters. Okay.
when I was in university, a group of friends of mine, we were thinking of starting a parapsychology department.
Parapsychology, huh?
Yeah, so but and we actually had a professor signed up that would do it with us, but we just didn't have enough. We needed like 2 or 3 more professors. You needed a certain number of people involved. But that would
Nora
have.
and I was with you, Nora, and I was in love with the princess and Conan too, also.
Oh yeah, yeah, everyone was. I think yeah, she's.
So who played that princess? She was beautiful.
I don't remember, but yeah, total babe. Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of the reason we like those Conan movies, right? So there's always some
Right.
hot
Oh,
girl.
so you said you're going to be like Ghostbusters, like when he was testing the people for their psychic abilities.
Yeah, yeah, I was that was a great scene. You get some hot girl.
No,
Oh yes,
the
you're
guy
totally right.
is nailing it, right? The guy is nailing
He's
it
doing
on
well, yeah.
what the pictures are, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he's
Sorry,
shocking her,
electric
shocking her with
shock.
the beautiful girl. And he's like, "That's right. I think you have gifts. We
Are you
need you
seeing
need to
these things? Are
explore
you?
this. Are you peeking?"
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, I thought that was yeah.
Lyle says, but Alan, she wasn't wearing a red dress.
I know she needs a red dress, but I'm willing to go with the metal bikinis. They're
Did
okay.
you like the girl in the red dress in the Matrix?
Oh yeah, that was so that. See, even in the Matrix, they make a reference to the girl in the red dress.
So you want to hear something funny or kind of interesting? So I'm at a job the other day, right? And then I'm working with
Hmm.
all these guys at a construction site, and one guy goes, I was talking about how hard it is to make it as an artist, right? And he goes,
Hmm.
same thing as a musician. You see that guy over there? He's like, that guy is the lead singer and guitarist in a touring rock band, and they're out there pouring concrete and making foundations, right? He's like, that guy over there is the bassist. This guy over here is a backup singer.
That's so
He's like,
funny.
I'm the drummer. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And I'm like, and so I was showing him my artwork, and he goes, well, we want a bunch of stuff for our band. We'll pay. He's like, well, yeah, you're down. We're gonna use you for art. So I was like,
Oh, that's cool.
cool. So yeah, their band is called First Class Martians. If you guys will look them up on
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah.
And they have the Mars Attacks Martian kind of character, but they have a skull with that
That big
brain with
head, the big.
like a bony brain thing. It's a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
skull with their logo. So yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yusa says Olivia Dabo was the princess in Conan 2.
Not maybe it was like one movie thing. I don't know because like
Yeah.
I don't know the name. I don't know the name.
And Dan says, "Don't settle, Alan. Don't settle."
No, it's
And Lyle says the actress is in one of the Terminator movies wearing red leather. Okay. Yeah.
oh
Oh
really?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
She was
maybe
the
at the bar
female
scene
Terminator.
where.
There's a female Terminator that was wearing red leather.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, yeah. She was she was after the liquid metal guy. So it was that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I only liked the first two really. After that, the movie's kind of so good. It kept on
Um,
contradicting the lore.
let's see. Yeah, they get well. It gets time travel gets messed up if you start changing things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Braun says he'll look into it. Basically,
All right.
maybe
Well,
he'll
that's
reach out
cool.
to you soon.
Okay.
And somebody else I'm trying to wrangle people. Oh, and then actually, speak of the devil, First Class Martians. I just talked about it. He says watching your live, but don't have my password to comment on YouTube. Toby, he's the drummer. He says I
Oh,
run
that's
our
cool.
social stuff, so it's the only thing I have on here. Enjoy your day, bud. Well, cool, Toby.
Very cool.
Glad you're watching. I saw your name pop up, and I was like, hey, you want to talk about First Class Martians? So yeah, so they're gonna have me do some artwork for them. So it's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Uh, Yusa says Debo was the voice of Luminara, Luminara Unduli in Star Wars Clone Wars. So
I
the
didn't even. I
princess,
watched the Clone Wars, but I barely remember it.
so the princess from Conan 2 was the voice of a animated character in Clone Wars. So there you
Mm.
go.
Okay, so she stuck with it.
She
Yeah,
still had a Hollywood career after Conan 2. I mean, if all of us little prepubescent child man childs thought she was beautiful and fell in love with her, then you'd think she'd have
so
a career.
so I went through a phase where I actually would watch like all those kind of like do you know like Sorcerer Queen and Warrior Queen? I mean Warrior
Oh
Queen
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Death Stalker and there's just so many like these sword and
You
sorcery
know,
ones. I
my
really
big
loved them.
crush when I was a kid on a movie character was Daryl Hannah from Splash.
Oh really? I had
Yeah,
a big crush
I was
on the
in
girl
love
from
with Daryl
Willow.
Hannah from Splash.
Do you know the girl from Willow?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
red hair,
yeah,
girl?
yeah, yeah.
I had a big crush on her. That was the one I really liked. Whalen.
Um,
I think it's Whalen or something like that. She actually married what's his name? Um Val Kilmer. Is it Val Kilmer?
oh yeah, yeah. Oh, you. Yeah. So,
Or they got
Queen
divorced.
Sorcha.
Queen
Yeah.
Sorcha, yeah, yeah.
So she becomes Queen Sorcha. She was in the new TV show actually too. Um, Lyle asked me,
The
"Is there
new TV
anything
show
in?"
was terrible, by the way. The new Willow was terrible.
I liked parts of it. Um,
Well,
Lyle
that's
says, "Is
too
there
bad.
anything in particular that you're looking for in comics, Brian?" Right now I'm working on my. Oh yes, Jennifer Connelly
Oh
from Rocketeer.
yes, she's
Jennifer
great.
Connelly for me, my from Career Opportunities when she's riding the horse, the where you put the quarters in at the. Oh my god, she's messing around with the criminals, and she's putting the quarters in there. They're like, get her another quarter, get her another quarter. To ride the horse.
That's funny.
Eustace says those are awesome movies. Just watched yesterday, Sword and Sorcerers.
Hmm.
And hey, there's the guy that I was just saying you need to interview. Bronze Age Nerd says Happy
Yeah, yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So yeah, so I'm well. Give him a little more emphatic about this, Alan. You want to interview him?
Yeah, Bronze Age Nerd, reach out to me like on Instagram and I'll interview you. Like I gotta use the fact that my channel has like huge subscriber base and that you can get like world access.
Lyle says he had a crush on Lindsay Wagner, Anne Margaret, and Raquel Welch. Lindsay
Oh,
Wagner,
Raquel, yeah, Raquel
yeah,
Welch was awesome.
yeah.
And
Lindsay
Lindsay
Wagner,
Wagner,
Bionic
what's
Woman, Bionic Woman.
Lindsay is? Oh yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
I
well,
liked her
yeah,
too.
and Wonder Woman. What's her name? Uh,
Um, Linda Carter.
Linda Carter. Yeah, huge crush on her as a kid too.
Hmm.
But see, Bronze, we're just being cavemen about all the women that we wanted to start with the princess from Conan too, and we started talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's like so many, like when you're a kid, you have crushes on pretty much any good-looking girl that's in a movie, right?
Right. Bronze, you
Um,
have an invite too to come in if you want. You can come in just for a few minutes if you want. It'd be great.
I,
But if
I
you
had a
don't,
big
that's
crush on Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder. Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
I really
go.
liked
Yeah,
her.
yeah, there you go.
I liked her in Heathers. That was a good movie.
I'd say Jennifer Connelly. See, Jennifer Connelly looked a lot like the girl from my high school years who
Oh, okay.
we were best friends. It was always just the the friends don't want to mess anything up, but we
Hmm.
like sleep in the same bed together and stuff.
Oh, wow. I wish I had friends like that in high school. Um,
Oh, she told me years later, she's like, you know how close I was to just like attacking you sometimes? I was like, don't tell me that.
yeah, yeah. Oh well, such a shame. Oh well.
uh, Dan says Splash and Willow. Yeah, we're old. Y'all are bringing me back. And
Yeah.
Lyle Hobson says, oh, Farrah
Oh, Farrah
Fawcett as
Fawcett.
well.
Yeah, Farrah Fawcett was awesome.
And Dan says, how dare you say Willow was terrible, Alan? I
No, the
I like what's the name
modern
of
Willow.
Mad Mardigan's friend? I saw him in like a really terrible found footage movie the first
No,
time, and
I like the old Willow. I liked, by the way. I just didn't like the new Willow.
yeah,
It
no,
was
he's
terrible.
talking about. I think he's talking about the new Willow.
The new
But
one's terrible.
I thought it was okay. Braun
Yeah.
says, can't go live watching my daughter, but wanted to come on and for a minute and support. That's awesome. If you guys don't know, too, Bronze is doing a another fundraiser for Mission 22 on Saturday, and I'm going to be hanging out live doing a piece of artwork for auction on the stream. And we're also
Nice.
going to be auctioning off the Wolverine piece that I did, where Wolverine is kind of down on the knee with the crossbow and the stogie
Yeah,
in
yeah.
his
I
hand.
saw that one. You should.
So
Yeah.
that one's going to be up for auction as well.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Norin says he agrees with you. He says the new one was horrible.
Thank you.
Yusa says Linnea Quigley from Return of the Living Dead. Oh boy, when I was a little boy, I have to look up her name. Linnea Quigley from
I
Return
really
of the
like the
Living Dead.
Living Dead movies. Oh my goodness, I was
Oh
a big
yeah, those
fan.
are great. Yeah, yeah. Dan
Um,
says he hasn't seen the new version. I really like some of the characters from that, like the Matt Mardigan's friend. That actor, I love everything he's in. He was actually in that movie, the Creator. He played a character.
Mad
So
Mardigan is Val Kilmer that played Mad Mardigan.
yeah, so Val
Right.
Kilmer, it's really sad. He has throat cancer,
Yeah, yeah.
or he
He's
had
messed
throat
up right
cancer.
now, but
So he can't. He in his neck and everything is messed up. But so he wasn't able to be in the movie. But
mhm.
so they have his friends that he adventured with.
Oh,
And so
okay.
there's a character that was one of his friends, the the guy with the big beard and the long hair. I really like
Hmm.
that guy's character in the movie.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
show, there was a lot of really good characters in the show. I just, like I said, like you said, flawed show. I liked parts of it. How's that?
Yeah,
That
there's just too
does that work?
much wokeness and stuff I don't like.
Yeah. You know what? I would. Somebody said the other day on Instagram that they're so tired of, and I appreciate that you watch the movies and stuff, but they're so tired of like people. A lot of people will spout out that something is woke or it's MCU or or whatever, and they won't
Yeah,
even watch the movie, and
I
it's like
I
that's not fair
I
to
always
do
give them a
that.
benefit of the doubt, And if you watch my review of the Marvels, I said it's not woke, but it is still a terrible movie.
Yeah, the best part was the X-Men thing at the end, but
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Norin said creator was just okay, but he was impressed with what they did with the low budget.
Yeah.
I just like I like the whole I kind of got like an Akira kind of feel from the creator. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean
But
there's certain movies like I wish they would I don't know. I think Hollywood doesn't like when a good movie does well. Like what was the Battle Angel was really good.
we got
And I
another
feel like
guest.
oh, we got a guest?
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's Dan from Dan's X-Men Comics.
Hey, hi. How's it going?
Hey, what's up,
Oh,
brother?
he's muted. He's muted.
Oh, you're
Hey,
muted, brother. Can you unmute yourself?
No.
Oh,
we can
your
hear you.
volume's really low.
Really
I can
low.
hear
Yeah.
you, just barely hear you.
Oh, can you hear me when I put the phone right up to my mouth like this?
It's
that
just
good?
It's very
barely,
creepy.
yeah. It's very. Well, that's an interesting shot there.
We can look up your nose and
I can hard, yeah. There you can work on your nose hair trimming. So yeah, we can't hear you though. You just barely.
barely. Yeah, it's really quiet.
Yeah. Okay, 1 second. He says. All right,
Don't
got to
look at
fix
me.
something. Very muffled.
Yeah, it's just very low volume.
Okay.
Yusa
I'm
says
outta
he
here.
loved the creator, and Bronze Age says, "Hey Dan."
Oh,
So
yeah,
oh,
I'd like to see the Crater. I haven't seen that yet. I've heard good things about it, and I'm kind of keen to see that one.
Yusa says he didn't like the new Willow either, but he said there were good parts, just like I was saying.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, like I'll grant it whenever there's a good part. I'll grant that. Sure, there were
yeah.
a few
So
good
you know the
parts.
character I'm talking about, the guy with the long hair and the big beard. That
Yeah,
he's kind of the main male lead guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
He was okay.
I liked his character. I've liked him in a lot of
So,
movies.
but the thing is, I didn't like the two female characters.
Oh, Bronze says crushing on Carrie Fisher as Leia.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially in Return of the Jedi, it's like, oh my goodness, like
yeah. If you guys haven't seen the career opportunities with what's her name? Just look up the scene from Career Opportunities with
with what's her name? The one we just talked about.
I just talked about her name. I'm drawing a blank.
Oh my goodness, what's her name again?
She looked like my friend.
Yeah, she looks like your friend. That's how we all know her. But
yeah, because you'll know what my friend looked like.
yeah, of course. She was also in Fast Times at Richmond High, wasn't she?
She was also in the Incredible Hulk. She's been in a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
She played Betty Ross. Anyway, look up that scene from Jennifer Connelly. That's it. Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly. Yes, Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Jennifer Connelly. Actually, I really like her. She was also in
Says he liked that's
is...
the guy I'm talking about is the axe guy, and then
yeah, I mean he was good. I liked him.
Lauren says definitely Bronze on Carrie Fisher, and he says he still crushes on her. And he says yeah, she gets better in each film.
So
Conley, Jennifer Connelly.
If there's any Canadians,
oh my gosh, you says blaspheming. Says never liked Leia. Doesn't know why. And Lauren Rice says The Day the Earth Stood Still. Yeah, Jennifer Connelly was in The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah.
All right, Dan is back.
The modern version of that.
Yeah, he's got some headphones on now.
Yeah, you know what?
Forward in the headphones. Oops, did I get him? Did he go in? Did he come in? Where'd he go?
I don't know.
Well,
if there's
he
any
disappeared.
Canadians,
He was all right.
If there's any Canadians in the audience, they might know this person, Erica.
All right.
I really liked as a kid.
Liv Tyler and Alicia Silverstone from the Crazy music video. There you go.
And I go crazy.
There we go. Now your mic's working.
Baby.
Yeah, Liv Tyler.
The pipes on Dan.
Oh, they've been resting for this moment. So
yes, you were waiting. You were drinking the herbal tea all day, waiting for this moment.
Beer,
Beerbal tea.
Great to join you guys.
Have
Alan,
you
very nice to meet you.
have you heard
Nice
from
to meet
Mark
you.
Oldroyd lately, Alan? Is he okay? Haven't seen any videos lately.
We just did a video on Monday together.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, he's still alive. At least last
There
time
you
I
go.
checked. Yeah,
Well,
no,
we've been talking about crushes and movies and horror movies and things we're thankful for and people we're thankful for. And I don't know if you caught the beginning of my ramble there at the beginning of the video, but you were definitely mentioned as one of the people that I am thankful for and very happy to have in our group.
I appreciate it. Same to you.
You rewatch that, you get to watch me cry. So
I did. No, I saw that live. And Alan was mentioning just how it is so much harder to meet friends at an older age, and that is something that I'm very thankful for with Brian. You know, we met up through through Colossus Collector from Canada.
Okay.
You know, and then he had us both like on a chat. And then ever since, you know, then we learned that we live pretty close together. We met up for the comic swap, and it was a great time. And now I got a new friend, so really stoked about that. Yeah,
that's super cool. Like I said, I can't. If you're thinking about doing YouTube, and don't hesitate. You know, well, I mean, or even like becoming friends with somebody, hopping on and being a guest or being interviewed. Dan, have you been interviewed by Alan yet?
No,
No. You know,
so you're welcome to come on my channel anytime.
I'm happy to join. And me and Alan have a little something in common. I heard that he had taught English in Korea, like pretty much when it was, you know, kind of, I mean, to me, new, you know, in the late 90s. Is that right? When you did it?
I did it from 1996 to 1999. Yeah,
totally.
I think did we talk before about this?
We chatted in
on Instagram.
Behind the stage, on the backstage, on a chat for a little bit.
How do you know about that, Brian?
No,
about the Korea thing? It was backstage on the show where I was at.
That's it. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I thought you were like, do you have some sort of insight to our personal conversation that me and Alan?
I have a virus in your computers where I get to see all of your videos. Shame on you.
Dan, you can come on my channel. We can do an interview. We can.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like
whenever it works for you, really. It's like I schedule around other people. You just tell me when.
So hit him up on Instagram and
cool.
And do it.
Yeah.
But you know,
teaching actually was funny because it was really funny. Like when I was in Korea, I was still collecting Warren Publishing and Warren magazines and stuff like that. And I had made all these contacts, really old school way of buying things. Like, I'm not sure if you guys remember eBay back then.
Oh yeah.
Where you'd have to send out like a check kind of thing, like a
cashier's
certified check.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you would just pray that the person would actually send the items that you bought.
Wait. Are you saying that you would send a check to an individual seller, or do you mean sending a check to like establish your checking account?
No. You would send it to an individual seller. Right?
Oh wow! No.
I remember somebody like I was looking at something and they go, "I accept the following forms of payment," and one of them was well hidden cash. So they were like, basically, send me a package with cash in it, and I'll accept that as a form of payment.
Oh,
it was really crazy back then.
That is sketchy.
And then what would happen is like, so I would be living in Korea. And in Korea, they didn't understand cashier checks. They didn't understand certified checks. So every time I'd go into a Korean bank, I'd have to explain it to them. And their English was kind of weak. And it would take me like hours.
The Korean bank, I got some Korean bank stories.
Yeah. So it took me hours just to get this silly check. Then I'd send it off. And then I wouldn't even know if I got the package. Because what I would do is I didn't want to send it to Korea. I'd send it to my parents' house in Nova Scotia. So my parents were getting all these random packages. And they were like, every time I would call them like once every 2 weeks. They'd be like, stop sending packages. They get so mad at me, but I'd still send them.
You would have had an incredible unboxing video back then.
And then, so when I got home, though, it was so funny. My bed, like they kept on throwing them on my childhood bed when I was, and it was just filled. It was just filled with packages. It was just so awesome. It was like
hilarious.
Christmas. It was really awesome.
So Norin is asking you a question, Alan. He says, do you know I'm going to butcher this, Wakazashi Tea House. You should search him, his channel. He's an English teacher that lives in Japan that does comic reviews. You might like him.
I'm gonna look him up right now.
Interesting.
Hey, First Class Martians was in the chat. Hey, welcome, Toby. I talked about your band, and I've been telling people to check out your band on Instagram. So, yeah, guys, go check out First Class Martians, Toby.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Toby is the drummer in the band, and was able to just
cool.
It's always interesting to find out like all the secret identities of everybody, what they do other than their when they're in their other life.
Well, the great thing about teaching, I actually recommend it to anyone, like when you're first starting out, when you're young, go over there, teach English. It teaches you two things. You're going to get ripped off, first of all. That's key. Like, I'm not sure if you've experienced that, but
in different ways, I'm sure.
Yeah. Like back when I was there, the contract was very sketchy.
No, I hear you.
Yeah. What they would do is they would usually fire you in your last month. Oh. And then they would say, "Oh, you got to return all the money that we gave you."
That is scammy.
Yeah, so you wouldn't get your bonus that you were supposed to get, and they'd also get you to pay all your airfare and all the stuff that they gave you at the beginning because you broke the contract because they fired you. And they would do that. Yeah, it was like a big thing. So the place that I worked, they did that to me. I was like,
I'm guessing you worked at a Hagwon, like a private
Hagwon,
school, not a public school. Yeah,
but it was a big school. It was ECC. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. They're huge. And this was like common practice. They would do this to every teacher. And so, but I had to stay in Korea.
Did you fight it, or did you just
fight it? It's impossible.
As a foreigner, you have like so few.
Yeah, you have like zero rights. So so basically, I was screwed because I had to stay in Korea because my wife, my soon-to-be wife, I should say. We didn't get married until '99, but I wanted to stay with her. And here I was like panicking that they're going to kick me out of the country because now my visa is no longer good.
Yeah.
So it was scary. And then they took my last pay, so I had no money. It was brutal.
Lyle says, I have a name for people like that, but today, no comment.
Yeah. So, but that was very standard. That was the way it was back then. But then I found a good Yuchiwan that I worked at for 2 years. And yeah, it was like, it was really funny though. Actually, the good place that I worked at, they wouldn't pay me in full every month. I'd only get like a small portion of what I was supposed to be paid. And then they say, "Oh, we're gonna pay you the rest. We're gonna pay you the rest." And I'm like, "Oh,
heard that before.
I'm gonna get screwed over again." And then at the very end, actually, they held true. They actually paid me everything that they owed me, but they gave it.
Oh, wow.
But in Korea, they don't have.
They gave it to you in coupons toward their.
No. The funny thing is, in Korea, they don't have, like, at the time they didn't have anything that was higher than 10,000, like note. Which is equivalent to $10. So they owed me like $8,000. So they paid me $8,000 in tens. So as you can imagine, it's like this big stack. And I'm like, we had dinner together, and it was like in this really sketchy neighborhood. And so I'm like, I got this big. They handed me this big wad of cash, and then I had to walk home. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get mugged. Like so many bad things happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was so scared carrying this big thing of cash.
It's like that that Bill Cosby sketch he used to talk about, like learning martial arts, and he became a black belt, and then he would walk through the worst areas of town with money hanging out of his pockets, just hoping to get mugged so he could beat the crap out of people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. At least, actually, I did know how to defend myself. I am a black belt.
Yeah, that's right. You do have. You are a martial artist. That's right.
Yeah. So, but,
they have 5 chunwon. I mean, 50 chunwon now, right?
Oh, do they? I didn't know. So
it's a yellow bill from what I remember. Like I remember a guy came in with a handcuff. He had literally his handcuffed to a suitcase, and it was full of 50 chunwon, which is 50,000 won. Approximately like $50 bills.
$50,
in stacks of 100. So we're talking what did he bring? $100,000 to $500,000, to the
Wow,
bank. Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah. And then the guy at the front has a gun. Like, it's just, you never see a gun in Korea, but you'll see one at the bank, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We did have. Oh, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to tell a quick story about, you were saying that like somebody got scammed, or like, that basically like it was their plan to kick somebody out at the end of their contract. Well, we had there's this Scottish guy who was one of my co-teacher who got hired at the same time I did, and he got kicked out, but he went to the school blacked out drunk one night, like 3 a.m. And they were like, CCTV. They called me over, like, confirm, like, Dan, we need as much evidence as we can. Confirm that this is him. And he just, he walked into the school, broke the printer, like opened it, like open face sandwich style.
Okay, so he deserved to get kicked out.
He did. Oh yeah. Like the whole time we knew, like, this guy was like no good for the school. He came to the school earlier drunk, with the kids, and just obscene behavior kind of thing. And he got booted, and I was with him when we drove him to the airport, and it was a fun story. Fun story in hindsight.
I bet it was fun taking him to the airport.
He sold me my copy of Mouse the first time I ever read Mouse. He was like, "Hey, have you ever read Mouse?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Well, here, take it." So when he cleaned out his house, I benefited. It was a great moment for my comic book, respurring my comic book collecting story.
Lyle says he was in the army for 12 years. He's a black belt in the Aikido Kenpo.
Hey, now, don't mess with Lyle.
I've done a little bit of Aikido. So, like, one of the things when you do martial arts for a long time, you get introduced to a lot of different things. So I've done a bit of Keto. I've done a bit of Filipino stick fighting.
Hey, Filipino stick fighting.
And then, I've also done, like, Taekwondo, of course,
I think I could fight a stick.
Yeah, actually,
I've practiced stick fighting for quite a while.
Yeah. They carry it. The stick is only about this big. It's like really a short stick, and they do chokes with it. They do like so many cool moves.
That sounds like it would hurt.
Yeah, no, it's.
Noran Rad says Kenpo is awesome. He says one of my favorite moves is Perfect Weapon. Do you know that move?
Movies.
No.
Oh, movies. I was like, move. Perfect Weapon. Sounds like a Kenpo move. Perfect Weapon.
Let me see.
He says I was in Amaturma for 3 years.
I have no idea. Oh, amateur MMA, he's saying.
Oh, amateur MMA. Okay. Nora was an amateur MMA person. That's awesome.
So if you actually watch MMA, it's a lot of judo, actually.
Huh.
Okay, so I'm guessing that Noran is really into like B action movies. You like some Rowdy Piper stuff, a little
oh yeah.
Stuff like that, I'm guessing.
Best Rowdy Piper movie is They Live.
Little Billy Blanks.
Oh, They Live was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, They Live is so sick. Yeah.
This is your God.
I rewatched it recently.
Back in Action. Billy Blanks and Rowdy Piper. There's some deep cuts that we can go to, but we'll just.
But if you watch They Live again more recently, you'll notice the soundtrack is pretty bad. It's like the same soundtrack over and over again.
Don't you dare, Alan.
Yusuf says Roddy Piper. It wasn't it's what's his name? It's the horror director, right? That does his own soundtrack.
Wes Craven?
Is it Wes? It's Wes Craven.
No, he didn't.
No, I don't think it's Wes Craven, but I'm just guessing horror directors. John Carpenter.
John Carpenter. That's the John Carpenter is the guy that does his own music. Yeah.
Mm.
Who directed They Live?
I don't know. Here, I'll Google it. Gosh.
Lyle says when you walk around cities carrying expensive and rare Golden Age comics, martial arts comes in handy.
Very much
Sure. What was the music that you're talking about though? That like was so
it's just
bad?
Like repetitive. It was just like they
There's
only
a lot
had
of
one
metal
soundtrack.
clicking, a lot of like
no, it's like
dunks.
it's like
That's what I remember.
I don't even know.
There was a 7-minute
I'm musically challenged
street fight scene without any music playing at all. It was just like the most awkward fight scene ever.
Roscoe,
with that one guy who does voices for every single cartoon you've ever seen in your life. What's that guy's name?
Happy Turkey Day, Roscoe. You watch the rewind. You are in the big list of people that I am thankful for in my life. So watch it on the rewind, buddy. Well, glad to see you here, bud. And Norin says, "Hey, Roscoe, happy Turkey Day."
Yeah, good to have you guys.
Yeah. So, Dan, do you ever watch Between the Lines?
No. What do we got there?
It's a show on Mondays, and people they have a guest.
I'm checking it
out. And they have a guest artist, and you don't necessarily have to be like a great artist or anything. Just somebody who likes to try to draw. And they'll ask you a series of questions and everything, and then they have these people who are called the in-betweeners, who are people who follow the show and who comment on the comments, and everyone's drawing from home, and they send their pictures to TM Nerdy, and he will post them, and they show everybody's art on a theme. So that's every Monday they do it, every Monday night. Yeah.
Is that the name of the channel, Between the Lines?
No.
Between the Lines is on Geek Out with Roscoe and TM Nerdy. They share it between their.
Oh, okay.
Their
Yeah. I'm familiar with TM Nerdy. Yeah. Okay. Let me check that out.
So yeah, Geek Out with and Roscoe says it's all about having fun. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. Just just drawing and laughing and having a good time, and yeah, it's really cool. So Roscoe says, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Roscoe. I appreciate you, buddy. You're a great inspiration to me as an artist." So
I like that splash of Bart and there's like a Homer version.
Oh yeah, he's done some great ones.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He had it was Cocaine Bear, but it was Yogi Bear. and he's got like the Ranger's arm all bloody and a picnic basket in his hand.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's a great time. So yeah, check it out if you're
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Thanks for turning me on. Thanks for turning me on. Right.
Whoa, hey, now I guess we're talking about crushes and everything.
You gotta give thanks.
Give thanks for the crush.
Sweet. Well, I got to split, y'all. But...
Well, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate it, bud.
For sure. Yeah, good to talk to you guys.
I gotta go too, Bigby. Bigby.
No, well, we can probably wrap this up. So we'll say thank you guys for stopping by. We're thankful for everyone hanging out today, and everyone eat lots of turkey. And maybe we'll try hopping on later on and do the dessert round.
Dessert round. Okay, cool.
But yeah, thanks everybody, and thank you guys for hopping on. Share your love of comics with everyone you meet.
Okay, bye.
You bet. Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. So everyone have a wonderful day.
Peace, y'all.